Hey, what's up, guys? So, today I'm going to do a stream that it's not going to be a fun one and a lot of people are going to be disappointed, but I got to do what I got to do to make myself happy. So, here's the deal. I'm sick of NFL football. The games are fucking terrible. They're unwatchable. And it's rotting away at my brain to have to look at these teams and their records and the spreads and the logos. And when I pick the games, then I bet on the games, then I watch the games. So if I watch the games and I'm betting on the games, that makes me a fanboy, and the NFL has me right where they want me. So, guys, football is fake and gay, and I don't want to watch it anymore. And that means I'm not going to pick the games anymore. So I'm going to teach you guys how to pick the games, and you are going to pick the games on your own. Here's the deal. My record is great. I'm going to go out a winner. I don't have a pile of money to show everybody for all the games I've won. And the reason is I don't bet big. And I don't bet big because I don't know what's going to happen. And at this point, I could get any game wrong. I could have a bad week any week. And I really don't want to have to put up with people criticizing me over getting games wrong. And so at this point, I'm just trying not to have a bad week. And I'm not having any fun looking at these games and making these picks. I'm basically only doing it to make money on these videos. So I'm not making money betting on these games very much. And it eats up so much of my time that I'm not happy having to look at football all day, every day. And that's what my life has become. And this channel is not a football channel. It might seem like it. This channel is a truth channel. It always has been a truth channel. Football is one of the things I talk about. Football's fake. Pro sports are fake. And I started making picks. The picks blew up. And then my life started to become like nonstop football, 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 football. And I honestly don't want to do it. I'm at my wit's end with football. I don't want to think about it. I want to go on a vacation and not look at any of the stupid teams. And I don't want to look at any of the games. And I don't care who wins. Guys, it hit me last night really, really hard. I don't care who wins. I don't care. I hope all the fucking teams lose. I hope every single one of the players burns in hell. They're all a bunch of fake actors and liars and frauds. The whole thing is a waste of time. And I have a lot of talent, and I've done a lot of amazing things with this channel. And it's become all about football, and I just can't do it no more. So I'm going to be a real man, and I'm going to stand here and tell you, football, the NFL, is a waste of time. It's run by billionaires and psychopaths who don't give a fuck about you. They just want your money. The players on the field, they don't give a fuck about you or about winning. They just want their big fat paycheck. So, do I really want to spend all my time talking about what's going to happen in a pretend football game? I did it for as long as I could do it, and now I'm sick of it. So, I know the games are about to start. Some of you guys only care about picks. Well, I'll show you how to make a pick, but I'm not going to make any more picks. Here's the thing. I don't want to be wrong in a big game when everyone's emotions and money is on the line. I thought about it, and come playoff time, they could throw a monkey wrench at me and I could whiff. Guys, I don't want to get to the NFC Championship and fucking whiff and be like, oops, I thought the Niners were going to the Super Bowl. Sorry about that wrong pick on the NFC Championship. Whoops, my bad. I don't want to get to the Super Bowl and whiff and have to live with being wrong with everybody, you know, and their money and their emotions riding on the line. What I really want to do is say I don't care, and all the NFL teams can go fuck themselves. And all the fans in the stands are losers. Watching football is something losers do. And I found myself watching football because I make picks and then I make bets. Then I find myself watching the games like a loser. Watching pretend football is for fucking losers, and I don't want to do it anymore. So, I'm going to show you guys how I pick a game so I don't leave you hanging. So, if any of you guys want to do what I do on your own, the way I do it, I'll show you how I do it. But, yeah, I just want to go on a vacation and not think about this shit. And the season's going to keep going until February. And for me to like continue this routine where every day is just football, I'm just so sick of it. Guys, like if I was to tell you my routine, and I will, I'm going to tell you my routine. It's just constant fake football. So like today, I got to make these picks, put out a pick video, and then tomorrow, Tuesday, I got to watch all the highlights, and then I got to make the top 10, which takes all day. My Tuesday is nothing but me watching fake football clips all day. I know you guys like that video. And when it's done and you guys tell me how much you like the video, I enjoy reading your comments. But I fucking hate making the video. To make the top 10 video, I have to watch fake shitty NFL clips all day. It's not fast and easy. And then I have to fucking it takes all day to edit that video. So every Tuesday is 100% dedicated to fake football all day long. And that means I sit in this office, in this chair, and stare at a screen all day. And it's not fun, and I don't enjoy it. And then Wednesday comes, I post the video, and then I'm reading comments and replying to you guys. And so Wednesday is all about me replying to comments and talking to you guys. Thursday comes, I got to make a football pick. So I got to cap the game Wednesday night and make my pick Thursday. And then I got to put up the video Thursday. Friday comes, I got to start capping all the games for Sunday because I got to get my pick video out on Saturday. So Friday comes, I got to start capping all the games. There's like 15 of them, 16 of them some weeks. So I'm looking at the games on Friday night like a loser instead of going out and doing something on Friday night. Guys, last Friday night, I spent all night looking at fucking picks and teams all night so that I wouldn't have a bad week. Saturday comes, I got to put my finishing touches on the picks, and then I got to make the video and upload it. And so Sunday comes, then I'm like deciding what teams I want to bet on, and then I'm watching the games to see what happens. Monday comes, I got to put out my Monday pick. Do you see? And then Tuesday comes, and then I'm back to doing a whole day of fucking watching clips. You guys realize that's a week of nothing but fake football. My whole week. I can't turn it off. There's not a day where I can just shut it off and not think about it. It bleeds into my brain. Every moment, I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with that one pick? Did I make the wrong pick? Should I change my pick? So to have tens of thousands of people writing me looking for my picks, hoping for a winning week, it's a lot of stress. It's very, very stressful. And the stress has gotten to me. I don't want to have a losing week. If I have a losing week, you guys will be like, what the fuck? Your picks sucked. You need to pick better. I hate being wrong. Do you guys know I pride myself on being right? And I make videos about the truth and telling the truth and how to, in the things that I believe are right in this world. I tell you what's wrong in this world, and I tell you what I believe is right. And so picking these games, I put myself in a position where I can be wrong, and then I have to eat shit in the comments section from every fanboy who's like, I told you the Cowboys were going to win. I told you the Cowboys. Boo, boo. I don't give a fuck about the Cowboys. I don't give a fuck about the Eagles. I hope all the goddamn players burn in hell. All of them. I don't care who wins or fucking loses. I only did this to prove a point that it's fake. The NFL is fake football. All the players are in on it. I'm the guy who proved it, and I'm the guy who made it go viral. The only reason that the majority of people have figured it out now and people know about it and everybody talks about it being scripted or not being scripted is because of me making it go viral. So I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I proved the NFL is fake and phony. I didn't mean for my channel to turn into nonstop football. And my old school subs who've been watching me since 2015, or excuse me, 2016, they don't give a fuck about football. They don't care. Most of my old school subs don't like this football content, and they're waiting for it to be over so that I go back to talking about something else. This never was a football channel. It's a truth channel. And I told you the truth that football is fake. And then I proved it. And I proved it over and over. And then it got popular. And then the channel blew up because I made football being fake popular. So that's what happened. All right. So, guys, I know your games are going to start. And some of you guys just want to know who's going to win. I don't know. And I don't care. But I'll show you if I was going to pick how I would do it. Okay, so here's how I pick games. And if you want to go predict the games the way I do, I'll show you how I go about doing it. All right. So I look at the lines. That's where you got to start. You got to look at the lines. So tonight, Miami, 13.5-point favorites, and Green Bay, 5.5-point favorites. And then I look at the spreads. I mean, the records against the spread. And if I see a team has covered a ton of spreads, like the Dolphins, I start to figure down the stretch, they're going to have to blow a few spreads. So nobody gets to win every game against the spread all year long. And nobody loses every game against the spread all year long. The best teams will still have 4 or 5 losses at the end of the year against the spread. And the worst teams will still have about 4 or 5 wins against the spread. So nobody goes undefeated against the spread, and nobody goes winless against the spread. So at this point in the year, you got to start looking at some of the shittier teams to pull out some covers. All right. So then you're going to look at where the money's at. So if you want to look at where the money's going to be at, you got to go check the websites. And the websites sometimes have conflicting information. So you take that with a grain of salt. So I'll show you guys how to look up the public money and show you how sometimes the websites agree and sometimes they don't. So if you Google public betting money NFL, people ask me this all the time. What are the websites? Google public betting money NFL and all the websites, several of them will pop up. So here's one right here called Sports Betting Dime. And this one will give you percentages against the spread, money line, and the total. So let me go down to the Monday night games. Here they are. So this one says Miami on the spread has 58% of the money. And then on the money line, that Miami's got 88% of the money. Oh, that's next week's games. Shit, my bad. That was the Jets. Hold on. These are next week's games. Shit. My bad. Let me no wonder that didn't seem right. Okay, here we go. Week 14. Okay, this makes more sense. Okay, so the Dolphins are have 82% of the money and 97% of the money on the money line. So, guys, the public is all over Miami. So you have to ask yourself, do you think that the Titans can keep it close with 14 points? And the money appears to be loaded up on Miami. Now think in your head, who is the public most likely going to take? The team that's been smoking people, who's got the better record, who's been scoring 30 points a game, or are they going to take the loser team who lost the majority of their games, right? So, of course, the public is going to be on Miami. So, when you see these numbers, you have to also just think about it in your head like, who's the public most likely going to be on? And in this case, they are going to be on the Dolphins. Now, does that mean Tennessee's for sure going to pull off the upset? That No, it doesn't mean that. But if there's a ton of money on them and Vegas wants to rip off the public, they can have Tennessee win outright and rake all that money. So you have to ask yourself, do you think that Vegas is going to rake all that money? Or do you think they're just going to rake the spread? Sometimes they let the public win. Sometimes they throw the public a bone and this money doesn't matter. So the public money can help you identify, you know, where the money's at in some cases, but it doesn't always let you know who for sure is going to win or cover. So as far as Green Bay and the Giants, it says 67% of the money is on Green Bay on the spread, and 80% of the money is on Green Bay on the money line. So hardly anyone's going to want to take the Giants. Hardly anyone's going to want to take Tennessee. So is there a chance at least one of those two teams could upset? Sure. Which one's it going to be? I don't know. And I don't want to stress myself out trying to figure it out. That's what you're going to have to figure out. You get to decide who you like. So, yeah, the money's on Green Bay and Tennessee both ways. More so, or it's not Tennessee, excuse me, Miami. The money's on Miami and Green Bay, especially Miami. And now that's just one website. So if I want to go check another website to make sure that the websites are both saying the same thing, you can go to this one called thespread.com. Check this one. And this one has these pie charts. And it says that 76% of the spread money is on the Dolphins and 56% is on the Packers. So this one has similar information, but it doesn't show the money being as high as the other site. But it does show that the money is on the Dolphins and the Packers on this site as well. All right, I'll check one more site. This one right here is called Scores and Odds. This one says the money's 50-50 on the Green Bay game. See, so this one's giving you a whole different set of numbers. It says the money's 50-50 on the Green Bay Giants game. And then on the money line, they say most of the money's on the Giants. See, so that's different conflicting information that you're getting there. So you got to take these websites with a grain of salt and you got to think about it in your own head where you think the money's at. And then this one says that 69% of the money's on the Dolphins on the spread and on the money line 74%. So all the websites are agreeing that the majority of the money's on the Dolphins, both ways. Now, there's one other um, site you can use, and you can do it on your phone. You download the CBS Sports app on your phone. If you download CBS Sports app, right, and then you go to the scores, and then you just push on one of these games like Tennessee Miami, and then you go to odds, and it'll give you betting percent. It'll give you some percentages. So this one says 76% of the money's on Miami on the spread, and then 96% of the money on the money line. So you can use CBS Sports, go to the scores, and then go to odds and get money percentages there. Okay. So this guy right here who's trying to talk shit about me while I'm like teaching you guys how to cap a game, I'm gonna ban this guy for life. I've talked about truth on this channel since 2016, and if all you're here for is football because you saw the football content, you might say something retarded like this fucking idiot here. And so this guy's gonna get banned for life, and he's not going to ever get to comment here ever again, because he's a stupid fucking idiot who doesn't realize I've told the truth about more stuff than anyone on the internet ever. Me, I've told more truth than anyone on the internet ever about conspiracies. So this guy wondering what sort of truth I might talk about. I'll talk about stuff like space being fake, politics being fake and rigged like fake football, your wars being fake, the Earth not being a spinning globe in outer space, shootings being drills, not real, the news being fake. Yeah, I'm going to have plenty to talk about. I'll never run out of content. And my live streams, I perform comedy and have a wonderful time without talking about football, and have done so for years. So this guy right here can go fuck himself for life. Anyone else want to step up and say something like that? I'll ban you and never think about you again. Understand? Okay. So let me get back on track teaching you how I cap football games. Where was I? So you can use these websites to kind of see where the money's at, but you got to take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes you're going to get conflicting information. All right. So guys, if the spread on a game looks whack, if it looks like it's wrong, then a lot of times that just means you need to go the other way. So if it looks like a team's getting too many points, like they're trying to entice you into taking somebody, that's what they're trying to do in a lot of these games, is trick you into taking the wrong team. So the NFL plays psychology ball, and you got to look at the spread as a psychological move to get you to take the wrong team. And so, for instance, this last week, the big trap was the Texans minus 3.5. So Texans were minus 3.5 against the Jets. The public loaded up on the Texans. And I told you that that was the trap game of the week, that the Jets haven't covered in like 5 games. And so everyone's going to load up on the Texans, expecting them to win and cover. And so you got to look at the teams who everyone's loading up on, where the spread seems too easy. If it seems like it's too easy and all the fanboys are all loading up on the same pick, there's a good chance that that one's going to be the upset. And so it doesn't always go down like that. There was a spread that threw me off this week where the Chargers were 3-point favorites against Denver. And to me, it looked like they were begging you to take Denver. But then Denver did go ahead and win and cover. So even when the spread doesn't look right and you go the opposite way, sometimes they still throw the public a bone. But generally, if the spread doesn't look right, they're trying to trick you into taking the wrong team. So whenever a spread seems too good to be true, too easy, that's usually an indicator that they're trying to trick you. All right. So check it out. There's going to be some teams down the stretch that are bad against the spread that are going to win and cover spreads. Let me pull up the spread standings. So right now, Dallas and Miami have covered the most spreads. And let me tell you what, I don't think it'll stay this way. They generally don't let teams cover this many spreads for the rest of the year. So generally, you're going to have teams finish in the middle at around 40 to 50%. So most of the teams will finish in the middle. And then you have these teams that have covered the least amount of spreads, like New Orleans, Atlanta, the Giants, Chargers. These are the teams that are most dangerous to start covering spreads. So last week we saw New Orleans cover the spread against Carolina. And Atlanta lost, so now they're 4-9 against the spread. So New Orleans, Atlanta, the Giants tonight possibly. All these teams are dangerous to start covering spreads because they aren't going to finish at 25% or 30%. They're going to finish closer to 40 and 50%. And the same goes for these teams up at the top, Dallas, Miami, Philly. They're in the high 60s. Chances are a lot of these teams are going to start blowing spreads. They might not lose games outright, but they're going to start blowing some spreads, and they're going to end up back in the middle at around 40 to 50%. So the majority of teams end up in the 40 to 50% spread range. So when you see a team like Dallas at 9-4, don't just expect them to run roughshod and cover every spread the rest of the year. And at the same time, when you see a team down at the bottom of the list, like New Orleans, they covered a spread last week, and I would figure that they're going to cover some more spreads. So don't expect the teams at the bottom of the list to just blow the spreads for the rest of the year. So at the end of the year, these bottom teams are the ones who start winning against the spread, and then the top teams start blowing it. So if you take that information, you can actually nail more upsets than usual. So I take teams that are bad against the spread in situations where no one else wants them, because I know that those teams have to get a certain amount of wins to get to about 40, 50%. And then I start to fade teams that are really good against the spread at the end of the year because I know they got to get down to like 60%. The spread is the number added to the score to make the game competitive for gambling purposes. So Miami is expected to beat the Titans, so they're 13 and a half point favorites. So if you want to bet on Miami to win the game, that's minus 900, meaning you have to bet $900 to win $100 because they're big favorites expected to win. If you want to bet $100 and win $100, like you want a straight even bet, well, then you have to bet on the point spread, and you would have to choose either Miami to win by 14 points or more, since the spread is minus 13 and a half, or you get Tennessee plus 13 and a half points. So you start the game with either Miami being in the whole 13 and a half points, or you start the game with Tennessee plus 13 and a half points. So that 13 and a half points is added to the score. And it changes in real time as the game is being played. So while the game is being played, if Tennessee started scoring, that spread would change in real time. But whatever you bet on, the spread, that number's locked in for you. So if you take the number at 13 and a half, you're locked in with 13 and a half. But if you wait until the game starts, that number will change. So whatever you bet on the spread, that's what number you're stuck with. And so if you want to even money bet, you're betting on the spread. And here's the thing, they don't let you have an even money bet. They take 10%. So you have to bet $110 to win 100. So they have these spread bets at minus 110, meaning you have to bet $110, and if you win your bet, you win $100. That 10% is what they call the juice or the vig. And so that way, if it's even money, 50% on both sides, Vegas sportsbooks still win because they get that 10% juice or vig. So here, I'll even show you what it looks like and how the sites calculate it all up for you. So it's really not confusing once you've made a few bets. Like once you've made a couple bets, then it's really easy and it makes perfect sense. So let me just show you on Bovada here. Like, okay, so the Dolphins and Titans game has already started, and the spread is already moving in real time, along with the money line number. So if you want to take right now Tennessee plus 14 and a half, it's at minus 120. And so if you were to bet $120, you win $100. See how it calculates it? You risk 120, then you'd win 100. Now, already this choice is not able to be made because the spread is changing right now in real time. So it won't even allow me to make that bet now because the game, there's players moving the ball, the spread's changing right now in real time. But just showing you, it adds all this stuff up for you and calculates it all for you. So if we want to go to next Sunday's games, let's say, and you want to pick next Sunday, or excuse me, next Thursday's game, and you want to pick uh, the Raiders to win, and you don't want to mess with the spread, that's minus 165. That means you'd have to bet $165 to bet $100. Now, let's say you don't want to bet 165, you just want to bet $10. So if you just put a 10 in there, shit. If you just put a 10, then you would only win $6. See? So this will tell you, whatever you're planning on betting, how much you would win on any of these games. So you don't have to make a bet to figure this out. If you just want to see, okay, I want to know how much I would win if I bet uh, $10 on the Bengals to win next week at minus 180. Well, at minus 180, you're only going to win $5.56 if you bet $10. If you bet 100, that's $55.56. The reason is the Bengals are expected to win. So if you just bet on the Bengals to win and they're expected to win, they're not going to let you double your money. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to double your money and make a straight bet, then you have to bet on the spread and you have to be willing to take Bengals minus 3.5, meaning they would have to win by 4 or more. And so then if you bet $10, now you'll win 9. So like I said, at minus 110, that 10% is the juice or the vig. And that's how Vegas Sportsbook makes their money if the money is even on both sides. So if you want to bet on the point spread, you get close to an even bet minus that 10%. So the point spread gives you the opportunity to bet basically an even bet. And then the money line is going to be, whether one team wins or loses, straight up. So you don't have to worry about any of the points if you're taking the money line. But if you take a big favorite, like the Dolphins are supposed to beat the Jets next week, they're huge favorites. They're minus 600. So if you were to bet $100 that the Dolphins win next week, you're only going to win $16 because they're expected to win. Now, if you want to double that $100, then you'd have to instead bet on the spread and hope that the Dolphins win by 11 or more. See, so if you were to bet on the spread, Dolphins minus 10.5, they'd have to win by 11 or more. Then if you bet 100, you'd win $90. See? Oh, shit. I wasn't even showing the screen. My bad. I'm an idiot. I thought I had this up on the screen, and I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, that whole time I was talking, I meant to be showing you guys this stuff on the screen. Those of you who bet a lot, you already know how all this stuff works, and so it's nothing new to you. But the people who don't understand how the betting works, I'll re-explain it real quick. All right. Okay, so this is Bovada. And just to show you, let me clear this bit. Go to NFL. All right. So right now, the Dolphins are already up 7-0. So right now, you can take Tennessee plus 17.5. And you would automatically get 17 points. And it looks like they already removed that one off the page because it's the game's being played right now. Oh, there it goes again. So you can take 17.5 right now. And if you were to bet $10, you'd win $870. If you were to take this plus 1100 right now, and the Tennessee Titans were to come back and win, you could bet $10 and win $110. So chances are Tennessee's not going to come back and win. But if you were to take them right now, you get plus 1100, now plus 1200 odds. You see how it's moving right now in real time? It was 17 and a half free points, and now it's 19 and a half free points. So while the game's being played, that point spread moves in real time, and the money line moves in real time. So this is what it looks like if you're watching a game and you're live betting. If you bet before a game, then the numbers will stay put, and they'll only move slightly as money comes in. So if we go to next Thursday's game, for instance, so next Thursday's game, if you wanted to take the Chargers, you can take 3 free points, or you can take the Raiders -3. And that would be that you're starting the game with 3 points for the Chargers, or you're starting -3 points with the Raiders. The Raiders are expected to win on Thursday Night Football. So if you take the Raiders -3, they have to win by 4 points for you to hit that bet. And if you were to bet, let's say $100 on Raiders -3 at -110, you win $90. And see, it adds it all up for you over here. So you don't have to do any of the complicated math or anything like that. So any number that you plug in here, it'll do the math for you. See what I'm saying? Like I can plug in any number I want, 575, and it'll tell me how much I win. $522. See what I'm saying? $1.25, I'd win $1.14. So when you bet on the money line, you're betting on whether a team just wins and loses, and then you're not betting on the spread. So if you bet on the team that's expected to win, like in this case, the Raiders are expected to beat the Chargers, you would have to bet in this case $165 to win 100 because they're at -165. If you bet 100, you'd only win $60. Bet $10, you'd only win $6. See what I'm saying? So there's people who will bet live and they'll wait for a team to get up by a bunch of points and then they'll bet on them live, just expecting them to go ahead and win. So right now, the Dolphins are huge favorites to win. But if you were to bet on that, you won't win shit because they're huge favorites expected to win. All right. So this is a tough deal for me to have to make this stream and tell you guys that I don't want to pick these games, but I want to break and I don't want to think about having to cap these games. And when I get them wrong, it bothers me. I don't like being wrong. And when people show up and give me shit for being wrong, it's not fun. And I've proven that the NFL is fake. It's not real football. I can't tell you who's going to win every game. I'm bound to get games wrong. I've proven that I get most of them right. I'm a proven winner. But when it comes down to it, I don't hold the cards. The NFL holds all the cards. And so they have all the power. And with all the money on the line in the playoffs and all the emotions on the line, I'd hate to be wrong and cost anyone any money. And I don't want to have to have people turn on me if I get a game wrong. If I have a bad week in the playoffs, if I was to lose a few big games in the playoffs, people would turn on me in an instant. And I know that. And it's it's not it shouldn't be on me, all this pressure, whether people win or lose. And so I thought about it, and it's like it seems like such a weight off my shoulders to not have to make these picks and not have to worry about it. And the only thing that would make me keep doing it is you guys wanting me to do it. And so the only reason I've made it this far is for you guys and because the channel's growing and making money. But I I personally I don't want to have to look at these spreads, and I don't want to have to pick these games, and I don't want to watch the games. And I'm looking forward to just taking a break and doing stuff that has nothing to do with football. Woke Hogan says Zach Wilson is proof it's fake. All the quarterbacks are fake, man. Tom Brady is the fake greatest. If the games were real, Tom Brady wouldn't have ever won a Super Bowl. If the games were real, Tom Brady might not have even been good enough to be a starter. If the games were real, Jacoby Brissett would be better than most starters. Remember Jacoby Brissett? The dude could drop a dime in a bucket, but then he would throw right to the other team in every game. So he would make perfect passes and then make a perfect pass right to the other team. So if Jacoby Brissett can drop dimes in a bucket all day long, but he's not a great looking hunk quarterback, so they just have him lose on purpose, what does that mean? It means possibly Jacoby Brissett is better than the guy you think is great. What happens if Jacoby Brissett is better than all the starters right now? What does that fucking mean? It means football's fake. If you really think about it, the NFL likes to market hunky QBs and good looking players. Do you think it's an accident that those 49er guys who they market are such good looking fellas? Here's the thing, I'm not trying to judge guys' looks or whatever, but from a money making standpoint, the NFL is marketing hunks so that fanboys are, without knowing it, attracted to these men without really knowing that's the reason why they love them. So one of the reasons why Niner fans love Brock Purdy, one of the reasons why Brock Purdy was chosen is because he's a good-looking guy whose name is Purdy. He looks like a 12-year-old boy with his baby face, and his name is Purdy. And then you have Kittle with his long flowing hair who gets to run free. And then you have Christian McCaffrey who gets to be the most powerful running back, even though he's some little tiny white guy. Come on, guys. Think about it. Tom Brady gets to go down as the greatest ever. Oh, and he just also happens to look like a lady. Look at Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence looks like a goddamn woman, right? It looks like a woman on steroids. The NFL is marketing these players' looks. Make no mistake about it. Ugly QBs don't get to be number one. Where's the ugly QB who has pot marks and glasses? Ooh, he doesn't get to be good. No ugly QBs get to be good. Think about that. How lucky for the NFL Tom Brady was such a hunk. How lucky for the NFL that Joe Burrow, such a hunk. How lucky all these quarterbacks are such great looking fellas. They trick you into desiring men who play with balls and tights. You guys want to know why I don't want to watch the games and I don't want to even look at it anymore? Because it's men playing with balls and tights. Men in tights playing literal grab ass. They're fucking playing grab ass. Have you ever seen them try to tackle? If you want to call it tackling, they're literally just playing grab ass. Gonna watch a game of literal grab ass because you have money on the line. I hope this team grabs the other team's ass really good today so that I win. Don't want to do it. The black QBs are not as hunky as the white QBs. Let's be honest. The black QBs are more to like give incentive to black dudes in the hood to play football. You can make it out the hood and play for the NFL. You can make it out the hood and become a rapper. You got to have that story of the black guy in the hood getting to become a millionaire, right? So, yeah, the league props up those players, the Lamar Jacksons and the Jalen Hurts, to keep homie in the hood thinking that he can become a millionaire and play football. Got to have that dream of playing pretend football. I didn't say he's from the hood. I said they got to give black guys in the hood a reason to think that they might be able to make it in the NFL. It keeps them watching too. I know lots of black guys like to watch football and think it's real. And they play football and they're still too stupid to notice that it's fake. So yeah, you got to market to the blacks by having some really good quarterbacks, like Lamar Jackson and Jalen. So they market to both black and white fan bases. And then they market to women as well. Another reason why they like to push the hunky players is for women. Like to buy those jerseys. Women like to buy the clothes and watch too. And by adding Taylor Swift to the mix, they're trying to grow the audience and add more women to the audience. The NFL knows that if they can get women watching, that the majority of women are not smart enough to realize it's fake football. And so women will buy the clothes and be like, oh, I'm going to buy my Kittle jersey. I'm going to buy my Brock Purdy jersey. I'm going to buy a Christian McCaffrey jersey because he's so cute. I'm going to buy a Travis Kelce jersey so that I can be like Taylor Swift. If you really look at it, it's just a big marketing ploy to get men and women to lust after these players and buy the merchandise. The NFL as a business is just a big overblown corporate dick being shoved in your ass. And I'm sick of it. Like just seeing the fanboys in the stands makes me sick. Like seeing all of them in the stands rooting and cheering and being upset when their team loses. And then when their team wins, they walk around with their chest all puffed out like they're some badass motherfucker. Like, the Cowboys won. We won. If I hear someone say we won, oh, God, can't stand it. So here's the deal. I'm going to end up losing viewers, losing subs, losing money by not making those pick videos. And I have to justify that in my own head as being the right move for my own happiness. So if anybody's wondering, like, did the NFL get to me and whatever? Did they like do something to make me stop? Their product is so terrible, and it's like rotted my brain to the point where I'm gonna give up the money that I'm making in order to not have to worry about it. For my own happiness, I'm going to lose money, is what's going to happen. I make more money making those pick videos than I do betting. Think about that. I don't make a lot of money betting on the games, even though I have a pretty damn good record, because I don't bet big. And I don't bet big because I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm never confident. So I'm like 33, 34 games above the spread. Like I have a winning record by like 30 something games. But I don't have a big fat pile of cash to show you for my great record. So even if you have a record as awesome as mine, you might still not have any money to show for it. Each week, I don't really know who I should bet on, and I'm the guy with the good picks. All right, I got a super chat coming in here. Miguel says, Jake, at the end of the day, we are responsible for our own money. So for people to come crying when a bet loses, even after you say bet at your own risk, is embarrassing. Personally, you've helped me lots these past months. Thank you, brother. Hey, thank you for that donation, man. I appreciate that. This is a tough stream for me to have to do. And I was not looking forward to it. And I knew a lot of people are going to be let down by me saying that I don't want to make picks anymore. And so it's really hard, but it was stressing me out. And me being able to look forward to not having to do that makes me feel better. Like I'm looking forward to just like going like on a hike out in the woods or the desert or something, and removing this from my brain for a day or two and just getting back to being a guy not thinking about this because it's ruled my thoughts for months now. My every week my routine has been football, 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 and I can't turn it off. I can't just be like, okay, I'm done capping the games for the night. I'm gonna turn it off. There. Now I don't. I'm not gonna think about it. No, it bleeds into my brain for the rest of the night. I'll sleep, and I swear it infiltrates my head when I'm trying to sleep. I'll like wake up and be like, oh, should I switch my pick from Buccaneers to Falcons? Maybe I should. And I'll fucking end up switching a pick that ends up like losing. And then I'll be mad at myself for switching a pick. And then that will bother me. So like to be thinking about it and having it bother me and infiltrate my head at all hours of the day is not good. It's not good for me. And like I said, I can't just flip a switch and turn it off. I have to like stop. The only way I can turn it off is to not pick and to not watch and go do something else. And that means all the viewers who watch me for the picks and for the football content, like they can pretty much all just give up on me and stop watching. And I have to just accept that. So yeah, I thought about sticking with it and finishing out the season, but honestly, guys, if I was to whiff on the Super Bowl or like just have like a bad week, like let's say it was like the divisional round. Looks like I missed a super chat. One sec. Super chat from JJ UEGG1. JJ double O double E double G1 with a donation. Let me go back and get it. One sec. Okay, so double J double O double E double G1 with a donation. Thanks, I appreciate that, man. No message, just the donation. All right. So I wasn't watching games last year Guys, last year I was just watching the highlights and then making the top 10. And then towards the end of the year, I started making some picks. And then this year, I've been doing the picks all year and the top 10s. And it's got me to the point now where when I make the picks and make bets, then I want to see what happens in the games. And then I start watching the game. And then I start like cheering, like if I make a bet and the team I bet on scores a touchdown, then I'm like, yeah, I'm winning. And then like a bad call happens, one of those like, penalties that shouldn't be a penalty, whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck? Such a stupid call. And I'm like, dude, I'm being a fanboy, watching the NFL, rooting, cheering, getting upset. What am I doing? What am I doing? So if I make picks and make bets, then it ultimately makes me start watching and paying attention. And if I'm watching and paying attention, then I'll end up like yesterday, basically spending a whole day watching fake football. And so it hit me really hard yesterday. Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I don't think it's fun. I'm only doing it because it's growing the channel and I'm making money on the ad revenue. I'm not really making that much on the betting side. And the stress it's causing me, I don't even know if it's worth the money I'm making. Want me to slap my face again? There. Does that make you happy? All right. I'll slap myself even harder if you send me a super chat. All right. Whoever sends me the biggest super chat, I'll slap my face extra hard, especially for you. This channel from now on is going to be a slap my face in the channel for money channel, starting today, right now. All right. Ready? Go. Okay. No, I haven't had a day job in years. So I've been a professional YouTuber for years, and I have a few other income streams outside YouTube. So I was making a good buck just walking around checking slot machines, and I haven't done that as much lately because I've been doing a bunch of football shit. So I make good money when I walk around and check advantage slot machines. It's a grind and it eats up a lot of time as well, but that's another way that I was making money and I was going out and doing something. And so yeah, I haven't went out and done my advantage slot play in a while because I've been doing football shit. Savage De Niro says your job is watching football. Lucky. Yeah, it sounds lucky to a fanboy, but it's a waste of time. It's literal grab ass. It's fake and gay. So it's not lucky. Sitting around and watching a television is not luck. I make money doing exactly what I'm doing. I can talk to the screen and talk about whatever I want, and I will make money. And I have made money. So when football's over, I can talk about other things live like I'm doing now, and I have an audience who will watch and donate. So I make money when I live stream no matter what I talk about, and I have for years. So I'm not worried about like not talking about football because this channel was a truth channel long before I talked about football. And I have hardcore subs who are waiting around for me to shut up about football so that they can start watching again. So I've got thousands of people who were watching me since 2016 who don't like the football content and want it to be over. And so I owe this channel to those people in a lot of ways because they were the ones who've been supporting me from the beginning. And all the Johnny come lately subs who jumped on just because of the football stuff, well, they weren't around for years supporting me. They aren't the hardcore subs who I built this channel upon. So I owe it to the hardcore subs and the people who've been supporting me since the beginning to give them something other than fake football content. Superjet113 says, found you through football a few months ago, but have been on board with your other subjects since 2015. I won't be going anywhere. So yeah, I like to perform comedy and have a lot of fun during my live streams. Today's not going to be quite as fun because I got to like level with you guys and tell you why I'm making this decision to like not be a football pickup guy anymore. So I'm gonna continue doing live streams, and I'm gonna make them fun and funny, even if this one's not. So I'm gonna get back to what I was doing before the football shit, and my old school subs are gonna be happy to see me again if they haven't wrote me off already. 50% Pain says it's your destiny to take down the fixed league. I'm one man and I've done a lot of damage to that league, but I can't take them down. That league is gigantic and powerful and they print money. That league isn't just a sports league, they are tied in to the government. Do you guys realize the NFL is tied in to the government? They're the same entity. Television shows football games. Television is a brainwashing device. It is a weapon to infiltrate your brain with bullshit. So the television shows football games. The NFL gets paid by the television stations. The stations pay the NFL to show those games. The television and the news is controlled by the government. Football is the Roman circus meant to distract you from what's going on in the world. So, football and TV and the government all go hand in hand. You understand what I'm saying? So, football is there to distract you. It's quite literally modern day gladiator sport, and it's fake and fixed, just like classic gladiator sport was also fixed. So when you watch a football game, you're also subjecting yourself to the ads, right? Mahomes Mojado, right? Every time you watch a football game, you're going to have to sit through 20 ads with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid grabbing the nuggies and State Farm. So you got to look at like these corporate dicks that they're shoving in your face every single time you turn on one of those fake and phony games. Like, how many Sundays do you want to sit and watch Mahomes Mojado? Mahomes Mojado! Oh, gotta get some of those nuggies. Andy Reid gonna eat some of those nuggies for the 500th time in a row. I gotta watch Andy Reid grab the nuggies. So I'm sick of it, and I wanna go on a vacation and not think about it. And I don't want to have to wait until the season's over. I was like, man, I can't wait till the season's over. So then I can like focus on other things. And I was telling myself when the season's over, I'm going to work on new music. When the season's over, I'm going to build a studio. When the season's over, I'm going to create new music and I'm going to buy a new microphone and a new camera, and I'm gonna make better content. I kept telling myself, when the season's over, you know what? No more excuses. The season's over. It's time for me to build a studio and work on new music and use the talents that I was blessed with. I'm a very talented man, and I can do some amazing things with this channel other than football. All right, Chris David with a very generous donation, no message, just a donation. I appreciate that so much. And you know what, guys? Another reason why I don't want to do the the NFL shit is because it was causing me not to do any other content. It was eating up all my time, and I wasn't going live and performing, and I wasn't creating any new music, and I wasn't creating any new content. I told my audience that I wasn't going to do only football and that I was going to mix other content in. And then once the season got rolling, I didn't keep up with that. I just started doing all football, just football, 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 football. And I haven't made any other types of videos lately. And the reason is because this shit over my life. And the only way I can like get it to just to go away and stop is to cut it off like cold turkey. If I pick games, it's going to make me want to bet, and if I bet, it's going to make me want to watch, and if I watch, then I'm just wasting my time. Now, I know I haven't cost anyone money, and I know I have made people money. There's some people that have made thousands and thousands of dollars this season on my picks. Um, here, what I'm saying is like I want to go out on top. I want you guys to remember me as a winner. And if I was to have 2 bad weeks in a row, or like have a bad run in the playoffs, people would turn on me. And I don't want to be responsible for anyone losing any money on anything I said or did. And so I thought about it like, if in the divisional round, let's say there's 4 games, if I was to like whiff on 3 out of the 4 games, I, I would have so much criticism come my way. If I was to whiff on AFC Championship and NFC Championship in the same day, and it's possible, even a guy like me who's really good at capping could pick the wrong team in the playoffs and then be like, whoops, I thought it was going to be red team, purple team. My bad. It's not red team, purple team. Whoops. You know what I'm saying? And so I know in an instant, all the people who are calling me the GOAT for picking all these games right would be like, what the fuck, dude? You lost both games? You were wrong about the Super Bowl. You suck. You know, if I was wrong about the Super Bowl, it would bother me for the rest of the year. I hate being wrong. I cannot stand being wrong. And if I don't pick, well, then I won't be wrong. I won't get the glory of being right, but I won't be wrong. So by picking, remove all the chance of me being wrong, which to me sounds like a hell of a weight off my shoulders to not have to worry about being wrong. Whew. And so yeah, that sounds like a good thing to me. And so that's what I'm going to have to do for my own happiness. And I knew someone was going to say this shit too. I know somebody was going to say this. The NFL's paying Jake to stop or whatever. No, they're not. I live in this fucking office. I make the most money for that my channel has ever made picking the games. I don't make that much betting. So I'm making more on ad revenue than I've ever made. And I'm not happy. I'm stressed out. It's bothering me. And like I just told you, I looked into the future. I know I'm not perfect. I know I can have the chance at making a mistake. And with all the money on the line in the playoffs and all the emotion, if I was to whiff on a big game or two, it would bother me. And you guys would be upset with me. And I just don't want to have to deal with it. So if you guys think the NFL paid me to stop, you're wrong. And you're going to see me still living in this office, not a millionaire, still making content. I will still make content telling you that the NFL is fake. I can still bring myself to watch the Super Bowl highlights and make a video breaking down the fake plays. So I'm not going to like completely throw away all the NFL content. I just don't want my week to be dominated by football no more. And if you missed my routine earlier, I'll explain it again. My routine is this: Monday, put out. I have so today's Monday. I would have to put out a football pick and pick these two games, and then Tuesday I would have to work on the top 10 all day long. So Tuesday means I work on the top 10 and I watch highlights all day long, and I have to work on that video all day. And then sometimes it bleeds into Wednesday, and I'm not even finished Tuesday night at 1, 2 in the morning, and then I have to wake up Wednesday and work on it more and finish it. And then Wednesday, when I upload the video, then I'm responding to your guys' comments and shit. Come Thursday, I got to pick and cap another game and put up the video for Thursday. And then I end up betting on it and watching it and shit. And then come Friday, I got to start capping all the Sunday games because there's like 15 of them, 16 games. It's a ton. So Friday, I cap games. And then Saturday, I have to finish capping those games and then make the video and upload it for you guys. And then Sunday comes, all the games are on. I'm like betting, and then I end up watching. And then Monday comes, and then I gotta bet and watch that game. And then boom, Tuesdays comes again, and then I gotta make another top 10. And so what that means is every day is football, 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 football. And if I say, dude, I don't care, I want to take a day off, well, that means I fall behind. If I take a day off and don't make the top 10, then that means I have to spend all day Wednesday doing it and it won't get as many views. You get what I'm saying? So you have to put yourself in my shoes. And do you want to sit around and do fake football every day, all day? Maybe to some of you guys that would be fun and interesting. But to me, I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out on fake football. So no, the NFL did not pay me. I'm my own man and I make my own decisions. I punched the NFL in the mouth over and over again. They're still standing there. They ain't going nowhere. They're still going to be making billions and billions. And the most I can ever make is a couple thousand. The most I can get is maybe a couple little thousand out of all these videos that I make. So yeah, you're not going to see me driving a fancy car or living in a fancy place when I stop making these picks. And I'll still call out the NFL for being fake and gay and rigged. And so I can still watch the highlights of the Super Bowl and give you a breakdown video at the end of the year. And I don't mind doing something like that. But as far as like having to cap all the games and pick them, it's stressing me out and I don't want to do it. Anybody who has a problem and you start bitching at me, I'm just going to ban you. And I don't care. If you unsub because I don't make picks, I don't care. If all you're here for is my picks and you don't watch, I don't care. If that's all you ever cared about was my picks, sorry. Enjoy the rest of your life. I'm going to enjoy the rest of mine, not having to worry about it anymore. And I make money just doing what I'm doing. Look at this stream. I've explained why I don't want to make picks, and I've made a couple $100 in super chats just telling you why I don't want to make picks. I'm a very talented man, and I have the ability to make money uh, in ways that people dream of. And I want to have fun and make money with my channel and be happy at the end of the day. And right now, the stress of like the NFL was getting to me, and I knew I was one bad week away from having everyone turn on me. 2 bad weeks, and holy shit, even the people who claim to love me the most would start to turn on me. And so that bad week will inevitably come if I keep picking. If I keep picking, a bad week will inevitably come down the pipe. And here's the deal, the NFL has all the cards, all the money. They can organize a football game specifically to make me wrong. If they really wanted to, they can have the players on the field do the exact opposite of what I say, specifically to make me look silly and wrong. So we're getting to the point where the NFL can organize a fake football game just to make me be wrong. I believe I have put I believe I've done more damage to this league than any man has ever done or could ever do. And I made the topic go viral that the NFL is scripted and rigged. And I can continue to do that by pointing out that it's scripted and rigged. I just don't want to have to spend the time capping every week and then take the chance of being wrong. Inevitably, there's going to be one of those weeks where they don't do what I say. Matthew Clayton says criminal drug companies own the networks. Yeah, see, the TV's controlled by the government. The social media networks are controlled and monitored by the government. If you give the peasants bread and circuses, they won't revolt. The NFL is your bread and circus. It's the grand circus in America, right? So there's people who care way more about their football team winning than who's president. And politics are rigged and fake too. But the fact of the matter is, they got the majority of men, young men, caring more about fake sports and grab ass than what's going on in the world, and that's a problem. And I don't want to be adding to that problem. 50% Pain says, "You versus the fixed league is David versus Goliath." I I believe I've done more damage to the NFL than any man has ever done or could ever do. If you look at their whole damage control campaign about the NFL not being scripted, like, oh, if the NFL was scripted, then all this stupid shit, like they basically have this whole campaign where, oh, let's all sit around and read the NFL script because only stupid people think it's scripted. So we're going to make fun of those stupid people who think it's scripted by having us all sit around and read the script. Oh, if you open up the script to page 15, then you'll see in week number 17 that XYZ is going to happen. Ooh! Yeah, see, so that all that whole like damage control campaign about the NFL not being scripted was basically because of this channel and what I did over here. So the NFL did their whole damage control campaign because of the damage that I caused. And they still got people like this idiot right here, who they tricked. See, the NFL can play mind games with people and get idiots like this guy right here to say Hamlin's dead. No, he's not. He faked it. He faked passed out. He didn't die on the field. See, so the NFL plays a psychology game with its audience, and the majority of its audience are tards who think it's all real. And then you got guys like this who go the opposite and say Damar Hamlin's dead. And I specifically made content telling you that no, he's not dead. No, he was never hurt. He never had commotio cordis or a heart attack or cardiac arrest. He fake passed out. So yeah, anyone who remembers the Damar Hamlin situation, everybody kneeled. They all kneeled except for the guy named Neil. And then they all were pretending to be upset, fake crying and whatnot before they even knew what happened. Then they shut down the whole game, and then they go to the Monday Night Football crew who's got all these lines ready to read. Oh, gee, if a guy dies unexpectedly, you think the Monday Night Football crew has fucking scripts to read? Are they're prepared for that situation? Seems to me, Monday Night Football crew, all of them went around the table and all had their little script thing to say. But you want to say that he is dead? You're an idiot. Get lost. Chris David says, "Whoops, I meant to leave a chat before. I've won and lost thousands on your picks and would never hold losses against you. I look forward to your show, man, and I hope you keep it going in the future, but can understand if it's not fulfilling. God bless." It eats up too much time, man. Last year, I was mainly just doing the top tens and not like capping all the games and picking all the games, so it didn't eat up as much time. But this year, it's just like my whole week is football, and so my whole weekend was football. Like this last weekend, wasted, totally wasted. Friday night, I spent capping games, and then Saturday, I had to finish them up and then make the video. And then Sunday came and I sat and watched games and to see if my bets would win. So that's like an entire weekend that I basically was like a fanboy, just sitting around being a loser. So do I get paid to do it? Yeah, but man, it is not enjoyable. And I get paid to do a lot of fun, awesome stuff. Guys, I've been paid to play my bass guitar. I've been paid to sing. I've been paid to perform comedy. I've been paid to talk about football. I know what it's like to get paid to do fun stuff. And so when it starts becoming not fun, uh, the money doesn't control all my decisions to where like I'll make a decision based on my own happiness. And if my own happiness, to me, it's worth more than being stressed out for the next couple months with the possibility of being wrong in big games and people losing money. So hey, I'm glad to hear that you wouldn't hold it against me, but I know a bunch of people would. If I was to have a couple bad weeks in the playoffs, a bunch of people would turn on me and hold it against me. So it's nice to hear that someone like you wouldn't hold that against me. And thank you for the donations, man. I appreciate that. It's very generous of you to donate that much. So I appreciate that, Chris. This guy says something's off. AJ says that doesn't sound right. What doesn't sound right? I'm being totally honest with you guys. Yesterday, I had this thing happen to me where my body told me to just stop doing this. So, a few times a month, I like to eat psychedelic mushrooms. A few times a month. And last night, I ate a little bit and I was overcome with this feeling of not wanting to do football shit and not caring. Like I was looking at the Dallas and Eagles game and I was like, I don't give a shit who wins. Screw both these teams. And then people were like, you got the Cowboys game wrong. And I was like, fuck off. You know what? Go pick the games yourself. I'm not going to get any games wrong anymore. And it feels good. It feels good to know I'm not going to get any more games wrong. I'm just going to point out that it's fake. I'll make a few more videos for you guys showing how the players are playing fake football. But I don't want to stress out and spend any more time on it. And there's always that week where the NFL throws the public a bunch of bones, and I could be wrong. And so I'm basically avoiding the inevitable and taking all the stress out of my life by doing this. And am I going to lose subs and viewers and money? Yes. But guess what? I don't have to worry about being wrong. And that feels good. It's a weight off of my shoulders. You guys are stupid, dude. I knew some of you guys were going to say that. I live in an office. I live in this room. I'm going to live in this room tomorrow and the next day. Do you think the NFL gave me millions of dollars and I'm just going to go on driving a Toyota Sienna, living in this office, doing the content that I always did beforehand? I'm telling you, I'm looking you guys in your eye. I'm telling you, I don't feel like doing it. It stresses me out. And I had a few bad weeks this year and it wasn't fun. And like I said, if I was to have a bad week or two in the playoffs, it would bum me out. And to have people turn on me and tell me my picks were shit would suck. And that's what will happen if I have a bad week. I don't want to do it. I don't care. And I don't bet big. Guys, here's what happens when I'm on my own personal time. I make a list with all my picks on it, and it looks like this. I take a piece of paper, and I make my picks like this, right? And so I've circled the ones that I won and shit. And so here's what happens. Before the games have played, I don't know who's going to win or lose. And so I look at my list and I go, which ones do I like the best? Which ones should I bet on? Should I bet on all of them? Should I just pick my favorite three? Should I just pick one game and bet big? How much do I want to bet? Okay, if I bet on all of them, am I going to bet big on all of them? Like, am I going to bet $1,000 on 15 different games and have $15,000 on the line? No. Am I going to bet $100 on 15 different games and have $1,500 on the line? Well, I could, but then on a week where you just go 8-6 or whatever, then you don't really hardly make anything. So then it's like, well, what? Maybe I should just pick three of my favorites. Which three are my favorites? I don't know. It's fake football. I'm not a fan. I don't think that any team's better than another team. Every single team could just show up and blow it. Every shit team who everyone thinks is going to suck could show up and win. And so anytime I make a pick and I even feel kind of good, it's always like, well, it's fake football, so I don't know for sure. So trying to pick three games that I like the best Here's what happened. I tried to pick 3 games this week, and I was like, which ones am I gonna bet on? The Bears over the Lions? I think the Bears will win. And they did. And then I was like, the Jets plus 3.5 over Texans? And Chargers -3? So those were the 3 I liked the best, and I hit 2 of them. So on a week where you go 2-1, it's not like you're rolling in the money, right? And then one of the ones I liked, the Chargers, they didn't show up at all, and they just straight up lost. And so for me trying to pick out my 3 favorites, I end up looking at 3 loser ass teams who everyone expects to lose, and I have to hope that those loser ass teams show up that week. Because if you take a bunch of the favorites, then you have to expect one of those is going to get upset or that they're not going to cover. And so for just trying to pick out which ones I personally like the best and want to bet on, I have trouble doing that. And I'm the guy who makes the good picks. I'm the guy who's up 30 whatever games on the spread. And I still can't figure out each week which ones I like the best and how much to bet. Some of you guys out there have the cojones to bet 1,000 or more on a game. I don't. I don't have the cojones to bet $1,000 on a game, a pretend football game, where the quarterback can pretend to be hurt on the first play. The star running back can pretend to be hurt. Your wide receiver will drop a ball on purpose when it matters most. Hell no, I don't feel comfortable betting big money on pretend football. And the only way to win lots is to have the cojones to bet big. And so, guys, I'm up 30 whatever games on the spread, and I don't have a big pile of money to show you. And then there's weeks where I lost. So I've made more money on the ad revenue than I did betting. I've made more on the pick videos, on the commercials that run. So my pick videos, I'll make $200 to $300 on the pick videos because they're long and they have commercials running. On a week where I'm betting games, I might, if I do good, win 200, but if I have a bad week, I might lose 100 or 2. And so when I make the pick videos, I make the guaranteed ad revenue, but when I bet, I lose sometimes, man. And I'm always afraid to bet big. And so I'm just being 100% honest with you guys. If I have a really good record, but I don't have lots of money to show for it, man, you're going to have a hard time beating this league if I'm beating the league and I don't have a lot of money to show for it. And Savage says, just make the picks and don't watch the games. Easier said than done, my man. If I make a pick, then I want to know if I'm right. And if I make a pick and then I'm right, then I'll wish I would have bet. So I had a week where I went 11-2 against the spread, but I didn't bet because I was afraid I might have a bad week. And I went 11-2 that week. So the week where I didn't bet, I went 11-2 against the spread. How do you think that feels to go 11-2 against the spread and not bet? So on my best week, I didn't bet and didn't win anything. And there were people in the comments saying, Jake, I parlayed 10 of your picks and won 15 grand. And I'm like, what the fuck? I should be winning all this money on my picks. So then when I started trying to win money on my picks, I was having a week where I'd go 8-6 and just barely win a tiny bit. Or I'd have a week where like I'd pick 3 games and lose 2 out of the 3. So I had a few weeks where I had a winning record, but then I picked 3 games and lost 2 out of the 3 on my own. And I'd have a losing week and a winning week picking. So imagine losing money, but having a winning, having mostly all your picks be winning. So yeah, that's the problem. Trying to pick favorites out of all the games and then bet on those, you open yourself up to like losing on those ones that you picked that you thought were your favorite. So then what are you going to bet on every game? That's a lot of damn games. So then if you have a bad week, and have a week where you go 6-10 or some shit, that could be pretty rough. So yeah, uh, I just don't see me making a ton betting without risking a ton. And so, yeah, that's another reason why I just don't really want to deal with it anymore. Yeah, there were several weeks where I didn't do bad, but I didn't do great. So there were like 3 or 4 weeks where I went 8-6, and that's a winning record. But you're not really beating the juice or kicking the Bucks' ass at 8-6 if you bet on all those games. So then if you go 8-6, how the hell are you supposed to pick the three best ones out of that and win, during a week and come out ahead? Because you don't know who's going to win or lose for sure. So on one of those weeks where I went 8-6, that's a winning week record wise. But do I make lots of money on an 8-6 week? No. If anything, I might lose those weeks. So the good record, shit. Check it out. This was the record through 13 weeks, and then if you count the games that I won on week 14, I'd be at 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114. I'd be at 115 and 78, 9, 80, 82 and 8. So my record against the spread is good. But again, I don't have a fat pile of money to show you. So if my records are this good and I don't have a fat pile of money, that means it's really hard to beat this league. They don't make it easy, and you got to risk a lot. Con Money says you went from 10 subs to 100K. You have a good formula, unreal growth. You're better than all the paid off analysts. Well, that's not exactly true. So I don't have 100,000 subs. Right now I'm at 68,000, and I've been making videos since 2015. Excuse me, 2016. I started in January 2016. So I've been on here for years and years, and I've talked about all sorts of subjects. And so football this season and last season did grow the channel significantly. However, I've grown the channel with thousands and thousands of subs talking about space being fake and the news being fake and Earth not being a spinning ball in outer space. And so if you go back to 2016, I built my original 10,000 subs talking about outer space being fake and NASA missions being fake, the moon landing being fake, space station being fake. So my initial tens of thousands of subs did not have anything to do with football at all. The last 20,000 or so have been because of the football. So I got kind of a mixed bag of subscribers, a bunch of people who came in through the football stuff. But then there's tens of thousands of subs who came in long before football who don't care about football. So there's quite a bit of people who have told me that they stopped watching me because all I talk about is football. I've had subs say, Jake, are you ever going to shut up about football? Is your channel just a football channel from now on? And I have to apologize to those people and say, no, it's not. And when football's over, I swear I'm going to go talk about some other stuff. I promise. So there's people upset with me for turning my channel into a football channel who've patiently been waiting for me to stop talking about it. So yeah, the during the football season, the NFL content grows the channel fast like nothing else, which is a big reason why I've done it. So the reason why I've stuck with it is because it has got me so many views and grown the channel so much. But then there comes a day like yesterday where I was like, dude, I'm sick of fake football. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to pay attention to it. I don't care who wins. And so it hit me so hard yesterday that I made the decision last night that I was just going to stop making picks. And I knew it was not going to be a fun decision. It was going to be tough for me to tell people. And I knew there were going to be idiots saying that the NFL paid me or did whatever to make me stop. No, I make the decisions. I do whatever I want with this channel. And to my own detriment, I'm going to lose subs and lose money by not making those picks. Miguel says, Jake, can you elaborate more on those psychedelic mushroom? I've heard stuff about them here and there, but don't understand what they really do. So, psychedelic mushrooms can make you think and feel differently. And so, some people will feel great and laugh and have a great time. Other people don't like the high and get overwhelmed and stressed out by it. So, if you are going to take it, I recommend you just take a little bit and see what you think. And then if you like it, you can always take more. But mainly, a psychedelic substance like mushrooms, acid, it can get you to think outside the box, think and feel differently than you normally would. And it's really hard to explain the high to somebody who's never taken it. So putting it into words for me to like describe to you to where you can go, oh, okay, that makes sense. I get it. It's almost impossible. So it's one of those things you would basically have to try on your own. And it's not like a regular street drug. There's no like harsh chemicals. So it's not like meth or heroin or anything like that that's going to have some harsh chemical come down or something. So when you come down from it, it's like a nice natural regression back to just feeling normal. And then the next day you're not left like feeling strung out and you're not left feeling like you're addicted and that you need to go do it again. So uh it's a natural substance. It's naturally occurring on earth. So it's not like other street drugs. And so trying to explain how it's going to make you feel or what it will do for you, it's damn near impossible. So you would just have to eat like a gram and see for yourself. Yes, I'm close to the end of the season, but it's not that close. It's like another 4 weeks, and then the playoffs, and then the Super Bowl. So that's like 8 weeks, man. It's like 2 months, and that's a lot of games. So that's like a ton of games to cap. And bro, I don't want to be wrong in the playoffs when all the money and pressure's on the line. I just don't. And I'm sick of it. It's boring. The games are boring. They're unwatchable. And the amount of time I'm putting into it is not worth it. I am a very talented man and I like doing other things. And my bass is sitting collecting dust. I have not written a new song in like years, it seems like. I have not recorded any new music in years. I have not I haven't made a video about anything else except football in months. So I I need to do something else. Yes, Rose, the Super Bowl's always at the beginning of February. And there's a 2 week gap before the Super Bowl where there's no games, where all they do is just hype the Super Bowl. So that 2 week gap, like last year, I spent a chunk of that just trying to figure out who's going to win the Super Bowl. So that 2 weeks, if you're trying to cap the Super Bowl, you're trying to pay attention to all the little details to figure out who's going to win that big game. So it eats up so much time. I wish it was as easy as just going down the list, going, oh, this team, that team, this team, that team, this team, that team, da, da, da. And then I could turn it, if I could just turn it off and not think about it, that and then not watch the games, that would be great. And then if when I got the games wrong, I could just let it slide off my back, that would be great. But that's not the way it is. The games stress me out because I want to be right, and then people commenting, that stresses me out too. If I get it wrong, people start talking shit. It is negativity that comes my way, and I really don't want it. Okay, constitutional remedy says plenty of other content to make with puppet election coming up and other current events, election prediction vid, thoughts on Alex Jones podcast. Alex Jones is controlled opposition. He's a government approved shill. He'll tell you a little more truth than what's on the news, but he also feeds you bullshit. So basically, they had him pretend to get sued by Sandy Hook actors. So that means he's 100% controlled opposition and an actor. Alex Jones is brought up on the mainstream news from time to time, and he does interviews with guys like Kanye West, and he's part of the mainstream talking points. So if the mainstream news is going to bring up Alex Jones, that means he's controlled. The mainstream news doesn't bring up Jake the asshole, and they never will, because I'm not controlled. I won't sit next to Kanye West because I'm not controlled. Uh, I'm not going to ever have a gigantic studio and employees because I'm not controlled. So anyone still thinking Alex Jones is like a good guy or on your side, like, whew, you missed the boat on that one. That dude's been controlled since the beginning, and it's quite obvious. As far as the election, I would guess that Trump comes back. It seems like all the arrows point to Trump coming back as president. And we might possibly get, at some point, an assassination attempt. There's been a lot of like predictive programming, which which points arrows to a possible assassination attempt on Trump. And who knows? Maybe there could even be an actual fake assassination or something. Who knows? So I feel like at some point we're due for another gigantic psyop. We haven't had like a 9/11 level psyop in quite a while, like a really gigantic one. And so at some point, uh, something could go down with Trump, like a fake assassination attempt or something. And then I heard, yeah, the rumors of The Rock possibly running for president. And you know what? As stupid as that sounds, there could be some truth to it because it's it's like pro wrestling. It really is. Trump versus Hillary, Trump versus Biden, Trump versus The Rock. It's really all just a big professional wrestling matchup. And so by having an actual pro wrestler like become president, it would be such a slap in the face to the public. Like it would be the elites just openly mocking the public. And I could see liberals wanting to pick The Rock. I could see people picking The Rock if he was to like cut some pro wrestling style promos and get the people all riled up, about how The Rock is going to be the people's president. The Rock is going to be the people's president, the greatest president of all time. If you smell what President Rock is cooking, I could see America falling for that, as dumb as that sounds. Yes, I tripped out last night and I had this overwhelming feeling that I need to stop doing football picks and just stop worrying about it and go take a vacation and go do something fun. I haven't done anything fun in like seems like a couple months now. Like I've just been locked into football shit. So I feel like I need to like go take a vacation and go enjoy myself and not have to worry or stress about any of the stupid games. Oh man, seems like a nightmare that could totally come true. The Rock is president and Vice President Oprah, and libtards would line up by the millions to vote for them too. Uh, so I was at like what am I? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. One, two, three, four, five. So this week I went 7-5-1, and then I didn't pick these last two Monday night games. So I lost the Chargers I lost, yeah, Chargers against the spread, Jags against the spread, Falcons and Steelers, and then I pushed on the Vikings. And then I won the rest. So I went 7-5-1. So if you add that to my season record, I'd be 115, 83, and 8 against the spread. And then I was 8-4 on the money line, so I would be 136, excuse me, 132 and 73. So yeah, good records. My records are prove that I am a winner, and I'm going to go out as a winner. Another reason why I thought I should just stop while I'm ahead is like if I was to have a bad playoff run, it would taint everything that I accomplished this season. And so if I stop now, I get to say, hey, I'm a winner. I have a proven winning record. I pick at a professional level. And I just don't feel like picking anymore. Simple as that. So because you took mushrooms, you're quitting face blue smiling. I believe I've explained to you that it's a lot of stress and it eats up a lot of time. And there's other things that I want to do besides football. And right now, it eats up so much time, I haven't been able to do any other thing. So I think I've explained it over and over and over again. And I've been as honest and transparent as I possibly can be. It is not fun. Football is fake and gay. I don't want to watch it anymore. When I ate mushrooms, it hit me like a ton of bricks that I don't care. I don't care who wins. My old team when I was a fanboy is the Dolphins. If they go to the Super Bowl and win, I'm not going to pretend to be happy. If they go and lose, I don't care. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. The only reason I was doing it was to prove my point that football is fake. Okay? Exactly. It is not healthy to watch. And even more so, it's like infiltrated my brain to where, like, when I tried to go to sleep, it was like in my mind. So, like Saturday night when I went to sleep, like, I was thinking about all my picks and whether or not they were going to be good and what I was going to have to tell my audience if they were bad. And it stressed me out, man. It's been stressing me out for the last several weeks. And on weeks where I don't do good, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went 6-8 against the spread and had a bad week, and it sucked. So to waste your whole week on football and have a bad week is like double thumbs down. Working is no fun if you don't like your job. But here's the thing: is like I have a fun job. I'm Jake the Asshole on YouTube. I can fire up a live stream and start talking and have an audience and make money. So I don't have to go do something I don't want to do. And it took years to build this audience and get to this point. So it's not like I just, lucked out to have this ability to do what I'm doing. So I made money doing this before I talked about football, and I'm going to continue to make money doing this if I don't talk about football. So in this stream, I've made a couple $100 just telling you why I don't want to pick the football games. You see, so next time I stream, I can focus on just putting on a funny comedy show and having a good time with my audience and not have to think about any stupid football. And so I'm looking forward to that. I knew I would have to do this stream and get this out of the way first. But yeah, next time I stream, now that I've got this out of the way, I can just screw around and have a good time and not worry about anything. Dan Pineda says, "Bring back the goofy hat. You're not being yourself without it." Well, it's right here, bro. It's literally just sitting over here. So I can put it on if you would like. But this stream is just going to have this certain kind of tone because I had to break this news to you guys. And it's been on my mind for weeks now. And last night, I finally made the decision that I was just going to go ahead and stop. So, hat or no hat, I still had to make this video or this stream. Mattology says clown hat. I've never seen a clown wear one of these. In fact, clowns have like big poofy like red afros and shit, right? So clowns will have funny hair more so than they'll have a psychedelic top hat. So I would argue it's not a clown hat, it's a psychedelic top hat. And so anyone who calls it a clown hat, go find a clown who wears one and show it to me. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Okay. You know, it's popular these days to call someone a clown. So if you're going to say I have a clown hat, you're basically just saying Jake's a clown, right? No, I am a free thinker and a psychedelic human being, especially when I eat psychedelics. And so I started creating psychedelic funk music on the bass many, many years ago. And so uh, I had a girlfriend who bought me this hat because I used to wear funky hats and play psychedelic funk bass at open mics. And so it was part of my gimmick as a funky psychedelic bass player to wear funky hats. And so I had like several different hats. One of them was a big giant beer mug. I had another big purple furry hat. Uh, I had uh, like a St. Patrick's Day style hat too that was big and looked like a big green beer mug and shit. So I would wear funky hats, and that was what I did even before I ever started this channel as a musical gimmick to set me apart. And so this is a very old hat. It's been with me for many years, and it really is as simple as me wanting to have a gimmick that a look that set me apart from other musicians. And that was the reason why I wore it. No, the NFL did not do anything to me. You're going to irritate me and you're going to cause me to call you a fucking idiot. Is that what you want? Anyone coming here thinking that the NFL did anything to me, you're wrong. It would cost them a lot of money for for them to like pay me off. And then you would see me have lots of money. I don't have a lot of money. I live in this office and I'm going to live in this office tomorrow and the next day. I'm going to keep driving the same old Toyota Sienna. So you're not going to see me suddenly loaded with lots of money. And if you think the NFL sent me some sort of cease and desist letter, well, I can still make content proving that it's rigged and fake. I can still show you guys the fake plays. I can still make a top 10 video if I want. I can still watch the Super Bowl and do a breakdown video and show you all the fake plays. And I'll probably still do that. So nobody told me to stop. And if you think that, you're wrong. I'm telling you, you're wrong. I personally don't want to pick the games because I don't want to stress out over it. And I just want to have fun. I want to have fun, uh, practice my bass, work on some new music, build a little studio here, start working on some new stuff. And I told myself I was going to do that when the season ends. And I'm sick of it. I, I don't want to watch it anymore or deal with it. So, no more excuses. It's time for me to start working on other stuff that I want to do that makes me happy. If I work on a song, I know it'll be good when I finish. If I get to work and I make a really cool song, I know my audience will like it. My hardcore subs will dig it, and nobody will be upset with it. Whereas if I get a football pick wrong, or two or three, people start getting upset and people start talking shit and bringing a bunch of negativity to my page, and I'm sick of it, and I don't want to do it. Actually, Leslie, last stream I played a little bit at the end. So last stream I did a little bit of slapping on the bass. And I've been telling myself that I'm going to work on new music and build a studio once the season ends. So I just need to stop making excuses and just get to work and do it. The picks are whatever you pick. So what you should do is take what I've shown you on how to cap a football game and go cap them yourself. I'm sure you'll get about as close as I do. Okay, go look at the spreads, and if a spread seems whack, then go the opposite way. If it seems like they're trying to trick you into taking somebody, go the opposite way. Check the public money on the websites, and if the money's totally loaded up on one side, well, you might consider that a game where there's going to be an upset. So look at the way I've picked the games all year. Go back and watch the old picks and see the games I got right and how I capped those games. And then look at the ones I got wrong and where I went wrong, and just cap the games like I cap them. I don't look at the injury reports. I don't look at who's good against the run or pass. I don't look at defensive numbers or stats. I throw all that out the window. I just look at the spread. I look at where the money's at. And then I think of the storyline in my head. And so if you're going to look at these games and cap them, look at the spread, ask yourself if it makes sense. Look at where the public money's at. If the public money's just loaded heavily on one side, you might want to consider, taking the team that doesn't have all the money loaded on them. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get those right every time, though. So just because a team is a public money favorite doesn't necessarily mean they're going to for sure get upset. So you guys are going to be the ones who get to make all these decisions. And I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Yeah, or you could be like one of these guys who plugs in numbers and says, well, the Queen queefed 36 times on 36th Street. And I like the number 36. And then the prime backwards number 36. And then Eddie Murphy 36. And then I saw a dude who liked 36. You know what I'm saying? If you start plugging in numbers for gematria, sometimes that will work for you and sometimes it won't. So I personally think gematria is a dog shit. So you can plug in numbers after the fact, but if you try and plug in numbers before, you're just going to end up getting it wrong, and then you're going to have to do mental gymnastics for why you got it wrong. So for instance, Zach Hubbard has picked games based on the Pope's birthday, and then he got it wrong. And then he had to explain why he got it wrong picking with the Pope's birthday. So if you want to pick games based on the Pope's birthday and be like, oh, 41, Tuesday 41, and I live on 41 Street, your mom 41, your dad 41, my dog's butthole 41, oh, so Green Bay 41, Packers 41, so therefore, gematria. If you want to do that, have at it. I think it's absolute horse shit myself. And I've seen guys totally lose doing that and then make up excuses afterwards. So if you want to do that, you can have fun. I don't do that. I got my record to where it was by not doing any gematria. So how did that work? How did I get such a good record without pulling numbers out of my ass? Crazy how that works. No, I don't play video games. I did when I was younger. And then I realized it was a waste of time, and only losers sit around and play games. Now, if you're a guy who likes to play a little bit of video games, that might bother you that I said that. But when I see guys online spending 7, 8 hours at a time, like doing those first person shooters, Call of Duty shit, and all that stuff is straight up loser behavior. So nobody has an awesome life sitting around playing video games. In fact, the New World Order plan is to get you to just disassociate with reality and put yourself into a fake computer virtual reality all day long. The bad guys want you to sit around and play video games. They want you to put on an Oculus virtual reality headset and go put yourself in some other world. They want you to choose virtual sex over sex with a woman. They want you to ultimately decide to have a much better life inside your virtual reality headset than creating a life that you enjoy here in reality. So it's part of the evil plan to get you to choose hooking a internet cable into your head and basically being a computerized robot rather than a person. And the ultimate goal of getting you to like stick an internet cable into your head and live inside of a pod like in the Matrix, yeah, it starts with playing video games all day. It starts with playing video games all day, and it ends with people having a cable plugged into their head inside of a pod because they don't want to go live their real life. Because if they have the cable plugged in their head and they live inside of a pod, they can have uh, a beautiful wife and kids and an amazing life and live in a fantasy world without ever having to go deal with reality. So yeah, that that movie The Matrix where they have all the people inside the pods and cords stuck into your head. That's basically the outcome. That's basically the final result if you sit around and play video games all day and live inside of a fantasy world. They're going to trick a bunch of nerds into choosing a fantasy girlfriend over a real girlfriend. They're going to choose the nerds are going to choose fantasy virtual sex over real sex. We're getting close to a point where you can put on a pair of goggles, Oculus goggles, and then have a machine that you insert your penis into, and then the machine simulates sex for you. And then you're looking at a beautiful woman in the Oculus goggles, and then they can simulate that you just had awesome sex with a beautiful woman in virtual reality. And that will be enough for many, many men to never have real sex ever again and never pursue a real woman ever again. And so, as crazy as what I just told you sounds, that's the direction we're heading. Lots and lots of nerds having virtual sex. Kevin Jones says, like wrestling, storylines are a big part of it, maximum drama. That's why are these bogus teams are bottled up. They want it undecided until the end. Yeah, right now they got all the teams like in a position to make the playoffs, so trying to figure out which few teams are going to get those wild card spots and which teams they're going to kick out. Good luck. I don't want to do it. I don't care. As far as wrestling, I would argue that like wrestling like doesn't eat up as much time. So if you're a wrestling fan, you can like watch, Monday Night Raw or SmackDown and then be done with it. Whereas like football, like man, there's something about those games that keep you thinking about it. Like fanboys will think about those damn games all week long. And so shit, I think it'd be easier just to like, watch a little wrestling and then shut it off and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? And with wrestling, they only have like one big pay-per-view per month. And so you can skip the weekly shows and just watch the one big pay-per-view, and just casually follow. Whereas the NFL is like, God, it's like every week nonstop. There's no break. Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and it's just constant, And so if you're a fan thinking about the next game your team's going to play, they'll have you thinking about that shit all week. And then if your team loses, then you're upset about it the whole next week. So I remember when I was a fan, and I used to be a fan of the Dolphins and watch the Dolphins, and Tom Brady would beat their ass like almost every time. And then I would have to sit there and live with that loss for the rest of the week and feel that pain and be all upset for a whole week. And so by not being a fan anymore, I was able to disconnect myself from the losses to where the losses no longer affected me. And by me picking these games this last season and start watching them again, it's caused me to start taking the losses to heart. So when I lose a pick, and people talk shit, it's like I take it personal. So for me to not make the picks, it's like the day I decided to stop being a Dolphin fan. The day I stopped being a Dolphin fan and decided that I don't care if they win or lose, and I threw my Dolphin shit away. Like I actually took all my Dolphin gear. I used to have shirts and sweatshirts with the logo and hats with the logo. I threw all of it away, and I remember feeling like I was set free. Like, oh, sweet. I don't have to worry about feeling like shit when they lose. And so by picking all the games this season and watching games, it kind of got me back into the mindset of a fan where, if I bet on a game, I'm watching it and I'm cheering and rooting. And so by disconnecting myself from it, I can get back to to just being a dude. And I have to figure out like what is it do I want to do to make me happy? And I know that like it'll make me happy to work on some music and make a really cool song and do something creative. I really want to do something creative. And there's nothing creative about watching NFL football. It's the opposite of creativity. So if you sit on a couch and watch TV, there is nothing creative going on. It's mind numbing, right? And I would say that it's unhealthy. So if I'm going to do something fun and cool and creative, I need to have the time to do it, and I need to have the right mindset to do it. So that's another reason why I kind of want to just focus on something fun that's going to produce something productive. Like if I make a cool song, then I have something to show for it. Whereas like picking games, yeah, if you pick right, it's awesome. But if you pick wrong, it sucks. Rose says your music is creative and beautiful. Well, thank you, Rose. I agree. I make good music. I've never put out any shit music, and so the fact that I haven't put out anything new in such a long time, you know, like it bothers me. I can still bring myself to make the top tens, even though it's a pain in the ass and it's not fun. There was a play that happened in the Ravens and Rams game that was it's the number one play of the week. I just haven't recorded myself doing the commentary with the TV yet, so I haven't assembled a list this week. But I can tell that the number one play is the punt return in the Rams Ravens game. So the Ravens won on a punt return where like six dudes dove at the feet, whiffed. It's the number one play of the week. So I'm thinking I might be able to make a top 10 for you, or maybe I'll just do the top play of the week and just give you that. But yeah, dude, sitting around all day Tuesday to make the top 10 is a pain in the ass, and I'm sick of that too. Making the top 10 is a pain in the ass because you have to watch all the highlights, pick out the 10 plays, and then I have to take my phone and film the TV screen and do my commentary. And then I have to take those clips and line them up in the editor and make the video. And so to do all that, it literally eats the entire Tuesday. And sometimes I'm up until 2, 3 in the morning trying to get it done. And then sometimes Wednesday, I'm still working on it. So perhaps this week I'll give you the number one most rigged play, and then I'll give you guys maybe a little monologue on why I'm sick of the NFL, and then leave it at that. Sal Paradise says humans actually have two brains, the one in their skull and second in their stomach, gut feeling. You must pay close attention to gut feelings because they are almost always correct. Yeah, that's what I had last night. It just overcame me that I'm done doing this NFL shit week in, week out. So the rig plays of the week video, I like watching you guys react to it, and I love the comments that come in. So the way you guys react to the video is the only reason I like to make that video, because making the video sucks. Having to sit here and get all those plays together, do all the commentary, and I'm repeating myself. So like the first several weeks weren't too bad, but like guys, it's the same shit. Guys diving at feet and whiffing, quarterbacks throwing picks on purpose, receivers dropping balls on purpose, return of the doink. It's the same shit over and over and over and over. I mean, haven't you noticed? I'm basically just repeating myself every week. So there was the one play that was the most obvious, most rigged and phony play. So I should probably make some little video about that and then just let people know that I'm sick of this, of having to do this each week. And then, if I don't have to worry about all the games, and let's say it's the playoffs and there's some major phony play that goes down, I can make a video about something like that. Or the Super Bowl, I can watch the replay of the Super Bowl and pick out the most phony plays in the Super Bowl and make a video about that. But like these last bunch of weeks to have to like spend a shitload of time like watching all the highlights from all those games to keep making the top 10. Ugh, I'm burnt out, man. I'm burnt out. Well, Colin, um, I am the guy that made Return of the Doink famous, and I would like to record some sort of like pro version of the song. So if I was to get my little studio together, I could make a pro version because I've only made, little karaoke versions of the song. I haven't like actually recorded any pro version. So if I wanted to, I could work on it and create that song as a standalone song, but it would take time. So by the time I finished, the season might be over. It has been running my life. And so this last weekend, I didn't do anything but football and capping. Like, to spend a Friday night as a single man making this list on like, that's what I did, dude. I like all Friday. And then I think about the other people out in the world going out and enjoying themselves and doing whatever, and there I am sitting making a list on Friday night for the fake football games. Can't do it, man. Trapper KCMO says, "Will you ever go back to playing rest homes?" I've been getting offers now that all the COVID restrictions are completely dropped. I've been getting a bunch of offers from the old facilities that I used to sing at. The problem is those facilities are like an hour and a half drive from where I live. So I live in the Sacramento area right now, and all those facilities I used to sing at are in the Modesto area, and that's like an hour and a half drive. So for me to drive an hour, hour and a half to those facilities is a bit out of the way, and it's a bit much. And so I liked singing in the nursing homes. It was a fun job, but I feel like if I was to get serious and work on music, I could create my own new music and even start a new band and maybe even put on live shows or something. So I do want to get back into doing music, but I haven't booked any shows in nursing homes, even though I have got the offers. So the nursing home gigs they're just karaoke gigs where I sing oldies. And so singing oldies in the nursing homes is fun, it's rewarding, and I can make like 75 $100 an hour doing it, which is decent money. But I really want to work on something original. I want to make some new music. I want to like learn something new on the bass, create something new. And so I can't say for sure I'll never sing again in the nursing homes, but right now I don't have any gigs lined up. So don't know if I will or not. Yes, this is true. If you live in California, you're surrounded by Raiders and Niner fans, and a lot of them are fucking ridiculous. And they're the Niner fans are like really full of themselves, and they're walking around with their chests puffed out, and they say we won, we this, we that. I can't even stand to be around those type of people. Really, there's these like cholo Mexican fans in California who go Raiders, Niners all game long. So if you go watch a game at, at the Niner Stadium, or if you are around Niner or Raider fans, they have a shitload of these like cholo Mexican fans who don't even seem to know like much about the game, but they get really drunk and they go Niners the whole game, whole fucking game. If they get a first down, Niner Raiders every time they do anything. So I don't even like to be around those people. They fucking make me sick. And if you try to tell those people that football's fake, they'll want to fight you. They'll say that you've never played football and you're just a fucking idiot, and they'll want to fight you. So if you try and tell a cholo gangbanger fucking Raider loser fan or Niner fan that it's fake, they'll get angry at you and want to fight. Niners. It's another thing, dude. I'm sick of it. The fans, ugh, I hate them. The fans who still show up and tell me I'm wrong, never played football, can't stand them. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. The whole game they do that. And they wear their jerseys and shit too. So you'll have like some cholo Mexican gangbanger faggot with a Brock Purdy jersey on going, Nine! The whole game. And then afterwards, we won. We beat you. We won. We're going to win. We. Bunch of fucking losers. Every last one of them. I mean, these guys that paint their face and wear like a costume and then like they go to the game and they like smack the like the guys that are sitting close to the field, they'll like smack the fucking the what is it? I can't even fucking think of anyway. Yeah, so if I think NFL fans are losers, then how can I sit here and watch an entire football game and bet on it and and root for a team to win and not also be a loser fanboy, right? So part of not being a loser fanboy is not watching the games and not caring. And in order for me to not watch and not care, I have to not pick and not bet. I know how I am. If I pick and I bet, then I'm gonna fucking want to watch my money on TV. I don't have a Cash App, but I do have my PayPal link in the description. So if you want to send a donation outside of the super chats, I prefer PayPal because that'll just go straight to me. And yeah, I never did set up a Cash App, but I have had PayPal for years. So the link is in the description of the video. Oh, look at that. Tennessee Titans have come back and the Giants are winning. I was going to pick those two teams to cover. I wasn't sure. I didn't think either one of them would win, but I was going to pick Packers and Titans to cover. So it looks like I would have got those two picks if it stays the way it's at right now. But I didn't pick, so I don't get to take credit for being right, and uh, I don't have to worry about being wrong. Um, DeBull Mill says, "Hey Jake, I want to thank you for showing me that the NFL is rigged. Can you come back for the playoffs?" I'm not gonna go anywhere. So if some crazy, rig play happens, I can still make a video about it. Um, I just don't want to spend all the time capping the games and picking the games, and I don't really want to spend my entire Tuesday doing a top 10. But if there's a super rigged and phony play, I can still make a quick video, a 5-minute video or whatever, and still break down a play or two. So if anything major happens, you know, I can still give you guys some NFL rigged content. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm never going to make another NFL video. I just can't spend my whole week on it. And I have done that. The last several weeks, it has eaten up like damn near all my time. And so I want to take a vacation and not think about it. But at the same time, you know, if some super duper rig play goes down, like I do want to like expose it, you know. So don't look at this as me being done forever. Just look at this as me not wanting to spend all my life on fake football. Holy cow! Somebody just sent me a big donation. Wow. Lieutenant Weinberg with a gigantic donation. Thank you, man. That is extremely generous of you. And I wasn't expecting anyone to, you know, donate that much. So, Lieutenant Weinberg, I'm not sure why you uh, are being so generous, but I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You know, the donations do help to keep this channel afloat, keep me afloat. I am Jake the Asshole for a living. And so all of this does go to helping me continue this channel and to build out my studio and get to work on my next endeavor. So, Lieutenant Weinberg, you can do whatever you want with your money. And for you to make such a generous donation to me in this channel, I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, sir. You are a gentleman. In fact, I'll let you hang out on the screen for even longer right after I read this super chat. James Fitzpatrick says, Jake, don't you think every game is rigged or just a few each? Every single game. Every single game, and every player's in on it. There's no such thing as real football that you can bet on. If you can bet on it, it's fixed and it's phony. So every single game, even the preseason, is fake and phony. There is no such thing as real football that you can wager your money on. Unless you can like go to a high school game and make like a personal bet between you and a friend or somebody. That's the only way you're going to wager on a real game. If you wager on a college game that has a betting line, those are fixed. If you wager on an NFL game or an NBA game, a Major League Baseball game, or a hockey game, if there is a betting line, it is fixed 100% every time. Here's the thing: all the players are in on it because it's impossible for players to not be in on it. There's no guy playing real football. Because if one guy was playing real football, don't you think he would be like, hey, how come my teammates keep losing games on purpose? So fanboys will say, if everyone was in on it, somebody would tell the secret. How come no one tells the secret? Well, Dwight Smith, former Super Bowl champ and MVP, did tell the secret. But fanboys don't know who Dwight Smith is, and they don't do any research. So fanboys always think if everyone was in on it, somebody would tell the secret. They get paid millions of dollars. They sign a non-disclosure agreement. They legally are not allowed to tell the secret. Legally, if you sign that contract, they have every right to take all that money away from you and sue you if you fucking open your mouth. That's why players don't open their mouth. Even if they only made a little bit. Even the players that didn't get paid millions, they don't open their mouth because they still attempted to play fake football. They probably took money and played some fake football in college. Players don't want to come out and admit they were part of playing fake football. And there's no football player that's like, hey, I only play real football. And these guys are faking it. So how come none of the players, you know, who aren't in on it come out and say anything? That's because they're all in on it. So if you had, you know, a wide receiver on the team who wasn't in on the fix, don't you think he would notice all the players dropping balls? I would. If I was a real player and I saw all my teammates losing on purpose, I would want to say something. I'd be like, "Fuck, dude. The wide receivers on my team are dropping balls every game. It doesn't make sense. The quarterback on my team literally threw it to the other team 3 times. I watched him do it. I don't want to play on this team anymore." Right? So if anyone's playing real football, how come they don't come out and talk about all the dudes playing fake football? Are you telling me the dudes playing real football can't notice that guys are playing fake football? It's because they're all playing fake football. There is no dude playing real football. Even the third string tight end is in on it. Why would you not have him in on it? Are you going to let some guy in the game who's not in on it play real football and screw up the scripted plays? No, everyone's in on it. They have to be. They're putting on a play to steal your money and distract you. Did you see all the money that was bet on the line tonight on the Dolphins? And now I looked and they were losing. So I look and the Dolphins are losing. And there was a chance earlier where you could have got plus 1100 on the Titans. Imagine that. We were looking at the game earlier and you could have got plus 1100. And now they're still at plus 400. So the Titans are winning right now. And they're still at plus 400 odds. So it's almost basically like they're telling you Miami's going to come back and win this. And that if you try and take the Titans right now, you're going to throw your money into a pit. Yeah, I just looked at on Bovada right now, and the Dolphins are at minus 600, and they're losing, and they're at minus 600. And Tennessee's at minus, or is it plus 375, and they're winning? I think that means the Dolphins are going to win, but they're definitely not. They're not going to cover that big spread, obviously. So the Dolphins are going to end up squeaking this one out, most likely. So I'm just going to forewarn anybody that tries to bet Tennessee here. I would guess the Dolphins end up pulling it out. If they're at minus right here while they're losing in the fourth quarter and they're still at minus 450, yeah, that's not a good sign. Dude, are you like trying to make me feel bad? Imagine having the incredible good fortune to be the number one rigged NFL channel in the world and you throw it in the garbage. I'm not throwing it in the garbage. I don't want to make football picks. I'm still the number one rigged football channel in the world, and I'll continue to be. If I break down the Super Bowl and make a video showing you how fake the Super Bowl is, it's going to get good views. And I'm still going to be kicking the NFL in the balls and telling you it's fake. And I'm still going to be number one. I just don't want to make the picks, dude. And it's an incredibly good fortune that I created. And I'm not throwing it in the garbage. I'm taking my life back, bro. Hey, guy who names himself Name, why don't you go pick the games? Why don't you pick up where I left off? Become Jake the asshole and start picking games and doing what I do. And you can be number one, bro. Don't try and make me feel like shit because I want to enjoy my life. I don't like fake football. I think it sucks balls. And I'm going to like do something else besides look at it or think about it. And if I feel like watching the Super Bowl highlights in February and making a video pointing out that the NFL is fake and phony, well, I can do that and I'll still be kicking the NFL in the balls. I'll still be the number one guy. I just don't want to make the picks every week. I don't want to pick the Super Bowl and accidentally get it wrong. I don't want to get the NFC championship wrong or the AFC championship wrong or the divisional games wrong. I don't want to get any of them wrong. And I know that the NFL has the ability to play psychological ball with everyone and trick a bunch of people, including me. I am not 100% sure with any pick I make. In fact, I'm not confident with all the picks I make. Any pick I make, I'm always like, I don't know. So it's stressful to have to worry about it every week. And I think I've repeated that like 10 times. So stop trying to make me feel bad because I don't want to pick these stupid games. Go pick them yourself, bro. If it bothers you that much, you can create the number one channel in the world. Go pick every game correct and show everyone how it's done and become the next Jake the Asshole. Okay? Some motherfucker creates a channel with no profile pic called Name. And he wants to come here and try and make me feel bad because I don't want to make picks no more. What a piece of shit. Hey, Name, fuck off and don't come back. Trapper KCMO says, "What's your opinion on these ridiculous lotteries? How can $500 million be left to chance?" Yeah, lotteries are fake too, and so the winners are often shills. And so if you look into like lottery winners going broke and this, that, and the other, imagine if like you get picked to win the lottery, but you don't really win the lottery. You just get to be the person who pretends like you won the lottery. Yeah, that could be a thing. Imagine that. Somebody pretends to win the lottery, but they don't actually win the lottery. All you have to do, I mean, there's people out there that you could give them 10 grand and be like, okay, we're going to give you 10 grand and you're just going to pretend like you won 100 million. And we're going to go ahead and keep the 100 million, but give you 10 grand while you just pretend that you won 100 million. And then what we want you to do is not buy anything extravagant and tell people that you just put the money in the bank and you're just going to sit on the money and that you don't want to buy a big house or a fancy car. How would you know, right? They can literally pocket hundreds of millions of dollars and then the person who wins could just be a plant. How would you know? Why wouldn't they do that? Of course, when there's all that money on the line, there's going to be some shenanigans and evil people with their finger in the pot. Yeah, the only thing stupider than playing the lottery are the scratcher fucking idiots. The scratcher people. Oh my god. So stupid. Like they basically capitalize on people who are poor who think that they're going to like scratch like $10,000 into existence. Like you know what happens when you play a scratcher? Like the people who like win, you'll win like $10 or another scratcher. You'll be like, I won another scratcher. And then you go in and you get your winning scratcher. Like, hey, I bought a scratcher and I won a scratcher. And then you get that scratcher and then you lose. Imagine that. You win a scratching ticket and then that one loses. It would have been better just to lose the first one so that you didn't have to go to the store and get the second ticket and then lose, right? So anytime you win a scratcher ticket and then that one loses, you basically just like wasted your time. And usually what are you going to win? $2, $5, $10? I don't know anyone who's ever won like big money on those. Huge difference, sir. Some slot machines are not created equal, and you can walk up on an advantage slot and know you're going to win for sure. Whereas there's no scratcher ticket that's an advantage scratcher ticket. There's no ticket that you know you're going to win. I can show you guys a slot machine that if you walk up and the right wild symbols are on the board, you can literally know for a fact you're going to win. In fact, I'll go ahead and prove it right now. Okay. So, if you're willing to walk around and check machines all night long and walk miles and miles around a casino, and if you know which machines are advantage machines and you study them, then you can walk up, find a machine with an advantage, and know for sure you're going to win. I've strategically won thousands and thousands of dollars playing slots. I'm up, I don't know, 100 grand probably. I'm probably up 100 grand on slots. I don't have 100 grand right here in my hands to like show you, but I've paid my rent and bought lots of stuff with cash that I beat slot machines with. So let me show you how it's done. Okay, so here's a game called Ocean Magic. It's old. It's been around for years, but it still is a moneymaker. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video and show you guys not all machines are created equal. Some idiot left all this glory on the table, and I'm about to cash in. That's my money. I walked up with this board set up like this. This is what you call a guaranteed win. And I'm really happy because I just lost a little bit of money, and now I'm about to win it back and then some. Get that money, baby. Get that money. Get that money now. So check it out. Those wild symbols, those are going to be on the screen until they leave the screen. And so on Ocean Magic, those wild symbols, every time you press the button, they move up one spot. And you get those wild symbols periodically. And when those wild symbols are up there, you have a shot at making really good money. If one of those wild symbols lands on an Ocean Magic symbol, it will spread out and create more wilds. And so whoever was playing this machine left wilds on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wilds on the board. That's a fuck ton. Whoever left this on the board is an idiot. Oh, excuse me, one in the corner. 11 wilds on the board. This is an automatic winning machine where you literally walk up, you see all these wilds, you play it, and you win automatically. And then once the wilds have left the screen, you stop playing and you print your ticket. And then you go try and find another machine. So if you walk up on an Ocean Magic machine and some idiot has left these wilds on the board, put your money in and play it until the wilds leave the board. Let me show you why. Now, get it. Come on. Come on. That's how quick it happens. We can do better than that. That's small potatoes. Small potatoes. Come on, baby. Hit. Hit. You know what to do. Hit. 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 Please hit. Please hit. Please. There it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah! That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. I love you. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you, baby. Love it. One more time. 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 One more time, baby. One more time. There it is. There it is again. You. Oh. I literally walked up on this free money to anyone who walked up on it. I saw all those wilds from across the casino and I ran. I sprinted. And you can see why. It's free money. Who wouldn't want to fucking sprint for free money? And there it is. That's the end. That's the end of the free money express. I put in $100 and now I'm cashing out $269.80. Profit of $169, literally just sitting there waiting for me. Easy as scooping it up. Okay, so anyone who thinks slot machines is all pure luck, well, most of them are. Except for the ones that are advantage machines, like this one. Did I know I was going to win? Fuck yes, I knew I was going to win. And look, all the wilds are at the top of the screen. They're going to go away on the next spin. So I stopped playing and print my ticket. There was zero chance that I was going to lose because all those wilds were there. So anyone who tells me slot machines is all luck is an idiot who doesn't know anything about advantage gambling. Guys, if I wanted to, and I'm not the type to brag, but if I wanted to, I could brag and show you, all of this. Comes from slot machines. And that's not the only stack of cash that I have. And that's all slot cash. So I'm up probably in my life like 100 G's. If I had to guess, I'm up like 100 G's. What are the chances the casino's going to take the money that I've made back from me? That chance. Because I walk around and I check machines and I only play when I have the advantage. And so when I lose, it's a little bit. And when I win, it's always more. So overall, my gambling life, I'm a professional slot machine slammer, and I'm up a good $100,000. Now, do I have 100K right here to show you? No, because I've paid my rent and bought cars and took vacations, went to concerts. I do whatever I want whenever I want, and I always have money to do whatever I want. But here's the thing. If you want to find what I just showed you, you got to be willing to walk around and compete with other motherfuckers all night long. So there's a Chinese dude at the casino doing what I just showed you right now. At every casino that has advantage slots, there's some dude checking those machines right now. So if you want to go check, just know there's going to be other dudes checking. And you're going to walk around and check 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 and check. But if you do that, you will eventually find one that is ready to pop, guaranteed. And all you'll have to do is just put your money in and win. But you won't find that machine unless you learn all about them, which takes lots of time. And you've spent a lot of time walking around. So if you want to walk miles or in the casino, spend all night, you can win. And so I've learned how to beat the casino years ago, like 3 years ago. I learned how to beat the casino with slots. And I've been doing it for the last 3 years. And I won way more on slots than I ever did betting NFL football. So with slots, I've turned $10 into 100 in 100 into 1,000 many times. Whereas betting football, I'm lucky to win a couple $100 in a week. Well, I have to get lucky. I love that movie. Vegas Vacation was my favorite of all the vacation movies. Believe it or not. Yep, Nick Papagiorgio from Yuma, Arizona. Yeah, dude, I've seen that movie so many times, and it's still good. I can still get stoned and watch that movie and still laugh a few times and enjoy it. All right. I'll show you guys another one, just so you guys understand how advantage machines work.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
I'm about to win some money on Wolf Peak. Here's how you win money on Wolf Peak. You check to see if anyone leaves wilds on the board like this. Like this. There you go. See? Wild, wild. I look for wilds in these first 3 roads. You can tell which way the wild's going to go. It'll point. See? The wilds point which way they're going to go. And then they fill up the whole screen, and then they're done. So if I find a wild like this in any of the first 3 rows, I play it until it leaves the screen. All right, nothing yet. Wild, get him, get him, get him, get him. There's a little win, all right. And one more, and this will be the end of it. All right, so that's the end of that. I started with a 20. I'm down 60 cents. But if I check the rest of these, I'm going to find, oh, look at this, $8 a spin. Somebody left 2 wilds on the board with multipliers. You know what this means? I'm going to win for sure. Guaranteed. Literally going to win, guaranteed, for sure, because I found this. Someone else left this, and I'm going to cash in on it for sure. And away we go. Big money, baby, big money. Wild, wild, wild. Give me some more wilds. Hook me up with the wilds. Hook it up. Boom. There's one spin. There you go. One more. Bring it, bring them, bring them, bring them, baby. One last spin. And that's how you win on Wolf Peak.
Hi, baby boy.
All right. See, so sometimes it's just like 2 or 3 spins and that's it. So sometimes I'll walk up, I'll find an advantage, and I'm only going to play it for like 2 spins. Boop, boop. Take my money and go on to the next one. So I don't sit and play like a regular slot player. You see me in a casino, I'm walking and checking and walking and checking. And then when I find an advantage, I play it. And then once the advantage is over, I print my ticket and I go on to the next one. Guess what, bro? I'm going to fucking ban you right now. Go fuck yourself. You want to call me an NFL plant like I'm some shill? I just told you how to beat fucking slot machines. I fucking helped you beat the NFL all year. I told you I'm sick of it and I don't want to fucking watch the stupid games no more. And I still got to have fucking pieces of shit like you say that, like, that I'm a plant, dude. Go fuck yourself. Every last one of you who thinks the NFL bought me off or I'm a plant or whatever, go fuck yourself and don't ever come back. I'm going to wake up living in this office tomorrow. I'm a real dude. These are my real feelings. I'm being really honest with you. And nothing bothers me more than being told like I'm some sort of shill or plant. I'm the most honest, real person on the entire fucking internet. There is nobody who does what I do and tells as much truth as I tell and helps as many people as I help. There isn't. So, anyone trying to act like I'm some sort of bad guy, NFL plant, shill, what have you, fuck you, get lost, and don't ever come back. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, see, I stressed out about this all night, Rose, because I knew I was going to have to make the decision to like not make NFL picks, and I knew the first thing losers were going to say is that the NFL got me to stop or whatever, and I knew I was going to have to be like, no, I don't want to do it because it sucks. It's not fun. But no, they're going to insist that I'm a plant and that the NFL bought me up. If you want to insist that, if you've made up your mind that that's the truth, cool. Unsubscribe, go fuck yourself, and don't ever watch me again. Yeah, I am legit. That's the thing. Jake the Asshole is the most real dude on the internet who tells the truth. So anyone else who has a channel about conspiracies is usually controlled. So there's not really a truth channel like mine. My channel is one of a kind, and I've pumped out all sorts of content over the years. And to be called a plant at this point of my life, dude, get lost for life. I'll ban anyone who wants to go down that alley. You wanna go there with me? Cool. I'll ban you. You'll be gone for life. I won't miss you, and I'll continue telling the truth and doing what I always do. Yeah, see, Leslie Guy is a person who's been watching my channel for years, and she doesn't care about the football content. She enjoys my comedy content, and she comes to the streams and wants me to talk about something other than football. And so when she looks at my channel and sees nothing but football shit, she's not into it. And I know there's tons of people like Leslie that love my channel that hate it right now because all it is football. So all the people who watched my channel for years and like the conspiracy content, not all of them are into football, and many of them are sick of the football shit and want it to be over. So to those people, hey, Jake's back. All right. And I'm sorry for turning my channel into a football channel for so long and neglecting all my awesome hardcore subs that have been around for years. You guys deserve better from me in this channel, and that's what you're going to get. Stephen Bowman says, why can't you do what you want to do? I can, and I am going to do what I want to do. So basically, I was making this content each week because it's monetized and making me ad revenue and getting me new subs and lots of views. But it's eating up a lot of my time and I'm stressing me out, and I'm not happy doing it just full-time NFL shit. So I can do what I want to do, and I am doing what I want to do. I'm going to stop making picks every week. I'm going to focus my energy in other avenues. And so what I want to do is focus more on my bass and on some new music. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Hey, thanks, David, for being a longtime supporter of this channel, and you've sent super chats and you've commented many times in the streams, and I've talked to you on Facebook and stuff. So, hey, thanks for supporting the channel, and I'm glad I got people like you here to support. I know I got a lot of great subs who watch the channel, and part of the reason why I want to make this decision is to get back to making content outside of football for the original people who subscribe to this channel. Yeah, Steven, see, I just looked at that spread, the spread in the line, and it was at the Dolphins were still at like minus 600 or whatever, even while they were losing. That's how I knew they were going to win. They aren't going to have Dolphins at minus 600 when they're losing, if they aren't going to come back and win. So all those plus numbers on Tennessee is how they tricked people into taking Tennessee. But it looks like they're going to cover. Oh no, shit, the Dolphins up. Oh wow, 27-13. Wow. So now they're covering the spread. All right. I'm a psycho. Hey motherfucker. Why am I a psycho? Explain it. Explain it, you no good piece of shit. Charles Ellington. Stupid piece of shit. Gonna call me a psycho while I'm doing a live stream for my audience. Explain why. Why am I a psycho? Can you come up with any good reason why I'm a psycho? Seems to me I've explained myself pretty well for the last 3 hours, and I've made quite a bit of money explaining myself. So, you tell me why a psycho like Jake the Asshole tells everybody the truth from the bottom of his heart and gets paid to do so. Tell me why that's psychotic. Explain it, bitch. Charles Ellington. Hey Charles Ellington, you want to meet me at Street Beef's West Coast in a cage and I'll fuck you up? How's that sound? Charles Ellington. Come to California and meet me at Street Beef's in a cage. Get in a cage with a psycho. I bet you don't have the balls to get in a cage with a psycho, do you? I might be so psycho that I might just whip your ass. Yeah, if you found my channel because of the pics, you should try watching some of the other stuff I do. Like these streams, normally they're not this serious. Normally I'm like a lot more funny and over the top. I do like impressions and voices and shit. So tonight's stream, the tone is like more serious. It's usually not like that. So if you go watch some of my other streams, they're hilarious and everyone has a good time. And I make fun of the news. I make fun of uh, the fake shit that they show you on TV. So I make fun of everything that's fake in the world, not just football. And the picks were an experiment to see how good I could do. And the experiment turned out to be a success. I'm good at picking games. But now we've reached the point in the experiment where I'm not having fun and I'm watching games and I'm betting on games and my whole life is football right now and I don't like it. So I've reached the point in the experiment where I'm going to eject from the experiment with a winning record. I get to say, "Hey, I picked games for almost an entire season, every game, and I was doing really good." And then I just got fucking sick of it. So I stopped. It takes a real man to stand on your own 2 feet and make this decision. And I'm doing it for myself. Johnny Ringo says, "Man, I hope you get back to traveling. Maybe not the van, but you can fly to cool cities you want to go and have meetups at the moment. I got you if you come out to North Carolina, subject to change." Hey, I appreciate that, man. And you know what? That my last van trip, it was fun. I got tired of living out of the van for weeks and weeks and weeks. So if I was going to do another trip, um, I'd have to plan it a little better. The last one I didn't plan out. I just kind of just took off and went on a whim. So I would need to plan the meetups in advance because last time I just rolled into a city and tried to like set up a meetup on the fly and it wasn't working doing it that way. So if I am going to do a meetup, I'll have to like pick a location in a city beforehand and then promote it. Dave, here's a problem, and I said it over and over again. I don't want to get it wrong. It's stressful, and I might get it wrong, and I don't want to. So the one way I won't get it wrong is if I don't pick. Then I won't get it wrong. So here's the deal. I got tons of games right. I called out tons of upsets. I got plenty of picks right. I'm happy with my winning percentage, and I'm happy going out a winner. And the only thing that would really mess me up is if I was to blow some playoff games and let you guys down, and that could happen. The NFL could throw me for a loop, and I might pick the wrong team, in the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship, AFC Championship, and it would bother me real bad if I let you guys down in a big game and whiffed. If I was to whiff on the AFC Championship and NFC Championship in the same day, that would be really hard. If I was to whiff on the Super Bowl, that would bother me all damn year until next year. So there's a lot of money on the line and a lot of emotion on the line in those games. And I don't want to deal with the stress. I'd rather just sit back and say, you know what? I don't care. Fuck all them teams. I hope they all lose. I hope they all lose and burn in hell, every last one of them. So part of my happiness from not doing this is the fact that I don't have to worry about being wrong. I care. I hate being wrong. And people come and show up and talk shit. It doesn't feel good. It's easy for you to say, Dave, put yourself on camera and pick every game. And when people show up and say, you're the best when you get it right, you'll be like, yeah, I know I'm the best. But then when you get it wrong, people are going to be like, dude, your picks suck. Then you have to deal with all the negativity. So, Dave, if you want to pick these games on camera, be my guest. But be prepared that when you have a bad week, people are going to talk shit and it's not going to be fun. And so I don't want to watch the games. I don't want to care about the games. I don't want to think about the games. I just want to like enjoy my life. And football doesn't bring enjoyment and happiness to my life at the moment. Lose has one O. Guys, the word lose has one O. The word loose has two O's. Lose and loose are two different words. Loose is the opposite of tight. Lose is the opposite of win. Loose has two O's and lose has one O. Okay? I don't mean to be a dick, but the fact that so many grown-ups have no clue how to spell lose and loose is kind of sad. I say it, but people still just spell it with the double O. Ooh means two O's, I guess. I'm a looser, baby, so why don't you kill me? It's something about the fact that it's just such a really easy thing that like so many people screw up over and over and over and over. And to me, it's like such a grammar school level thing. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, you didn't use a semicolon in the proper context. No, but like, loose and lose are two different words. And it's like literally something as easy as like lose has one O, you know? So yeah, that one, I don't know why. To me, it's like it's too easy. Okay. I think I repeated myself enough times tonight, and it wasn't the most fun stream to be a part of, but I had to get that off my chest. All right. So I appreciate all you guys for hanging out here, everyone who donated. Uh, Another special thanks to Lieutenant Weinberg for the gigantic donation tonight. I appreciate that. Hey, all you guys, if you want to watch the fake football games and bet on the fake football games, go for it. Good luck to you. Uh, you saw how I picked the games. So if you want to use the same tactics I used to make your picks and predictions, perhaps that will help you. I just don't want to be making picks anymore. So I'm not gonna. All right, guys. So I'm gonna get off here. I've been on here for over 3 hours, and I'm gonna wind down and enjoy the rest of my night. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Sorry to those who were waiting for the picks. Sorry to disappoint anybody who, you know, doesn't like this news. But for those of you who have been following me for a long time, I'm sure some of you guys are happy to hear this, and you guys are excited for me to shut up about football and talk about something else. So Jake's back, y'all. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. I'll try to do another stream in a few days. I'll try to do more streams to keep myself occupied instead of talking about football. So I'll try to do like 2 streams per week rather than like 1 every 2 weeks. Okay? So I'll see you guys in a few days. I'll do another stream. Y'all take care. Have a good night. Enjoy your fake, phony, pretend football games. And I'll see you next time.